I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth will call Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, Proctor.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Pouchy Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchog, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Wichita, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy. Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and then we're screwing up the
funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from. Hey, what's up? 508 is where I'm from. How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's more a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody. You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog that.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up and sing, it should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, turtle people? How's everyone out there doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show. Wrinkled there. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your fearless host. My name is Aidan Kearney, also known as Clarence Woods Emerson. You can call me that. If you follow me on Facebook, you can call me A. Timothy Kearney. That is my true crime name and future New York Times bestselling author name. Currently Amazon bestselling author, A. Timothy Kearney. I like to put on leather jackets and play in the woods and solve mysteries while I'm deep in thought. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy. Old school turtle riders have been known to do that. You can call me Dr. Turtleboy, which I prefer actually, because, you know, if Jill Biden gets to be a doctor, then so do I. It's her last day as first lady. So there's that big day tomorrow. And you can also call me Acceptable, even though it has like scars of the past. You can call me Daddy. I don't care what you call me. Dr. Daddy too, whatever you want to do. I don't care what you call me. Just be here usually Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. and make sure you smash that subscribe button. How many subscribers are we up to right now? We passed 102,000 recently. We're up to 102,141. So it's not really growing. That's what she said. But because there's no like trial or anything right now, it'll grow. That's also what she said. But eventually right now, just make sure how many people are watching on YouTube right now? 2,157 of you. Not bad for a Sunday night. And I'm sure some of you guys haven't smashed the subscribe button yet. So go ahead and do that. So tonight, the reason obviously I'm late tonight is I had the foosball on and I see people in the comments about it. I see some Eagles fans. You guys got lucky today. You guys got lucky. Oh my God. That was almost imagine they were driving, man. I mean, it was a great, Jalen Carter, I think it was Jalen Carter, stepped up and made a great play. That sack, that ended it. Like that, if he didn't make that sack, Matthew Stafford was going to throw a touchdown. He's going to go to Puka Nacua. It was going to be they were going to upset your ass. And we were about to have the dumbest NFC championship game ever with the Rams against the Commanders. And RIP to my Detroit Lions. I'm a new fan. But I understand your suffering now. I've only been a fan for like a couple months now, maybe a couple weeks, but I feel like I get it. I get it. After yesterday, after that, whatever that, I mean, we had so much hope for the season, guys. This was our year. We were supposed to win the Super Bowl. Like the Lions have never been this good before. They weren't this good with Barry Sanders. Like, come on, this was the year. Like 15-2 for real. Let's go. And then, just I don't know why God always does this to us as Lions fans, like we couldn't even make the NFC championship. It's embarrassing. So, I would hope obviously that, next year is, we'll be back, but we're the Lions. So you never know. So luckily I'm also a Bills fan. I'm also a Buffalo Bills fan. I've always liked the Bills because even though they're in our division, I respect the Bills because they were never a rival to us when we were awesome. Like they were submissive. They were good dogs. Like that's why I like the Bills is like they understood that their role during the last or for 20 years was to just get the shit kicked out of them by Tom Brady, be mad about it and go and eat buffalo wings and, jump on tables and just, be abhorrent in general. Like that's why I respect Bills fans, and they kept going all the games. It was cold there too. So I hope they win the Super Bowl. I'm now a Buffalo Bills fan. Who isn't really? I mean, Eagles, Commanders. Eagles beat them twice this year. I think they killed them twice. but Commanders have won like 8 in a row. So you never know. You never know. I don't know about the Eagles. I feel like, but man, that AFC Championship game, whew, Josh Allen's going back to Arrowhead, man. I don't know if we have any Bills Mafia in the house, but it's going to be a tough game for us Bills fans. Like, this is a make or break game for Josh Allen. He's quickly becoming Peyton Manning. And I don't mean that as a compliment. Like, until Peyton Manning was like 30 some years old, he couldn't beat Tom Brady. He couldn't do it. Every year, like clockwork, he would MVP, numbers. And then coming to Foxborough, season over. That's just how it always ended. Season over. So Josh Allen does not want to become Peyton Manning. You know, like, this is the year. Like, this is the MVP year. He just beat Lamar. Like, that was a great game. He just beat him. He has to beat Patrick Mahomes. Like, this is just Chiefs team. How the fuck are they 15? They're not that good. I'm sorry, they're not that good. I understand they won 15 games, but they didn't like murder teams. Like, when we were the one, do you even dynasty, bro? Like, on the Patriots, when we had a dynasty, we just kicked the shit out of teams constantly, just beat the fuck out of them every week. And the Chiefs are winning these little squeakers every week. It's kind of like a fake 15-2. So, like, I don't know if they have a spread on that game yet. Anybody knows there a line on that yet for Bills Chiefs? Let's see. Yeah, there is. Okay. It's a 1-point spread. So there we go. Chiefs at home by 1, Eagles at home by 5. And then, you know, so it's going to be a good one, man. Going to be a good one, but we'll see. Also, Notre Dame, man. Tomorrow's the big day. That's all I've been thinking about for like the last 10 days is Notre Dame football. I don't know if we have any other Irish fans in the chat, but we have a big game tomorrow, guys. It's like the biggest game of my life tomorrow. Notre Dame, Ohio State, 7:30 sharp. I'll probably stream some of it. I think my son's going to come over and watch some of it. He'll probably fall asleep. But they think we can't play with this team. They think, they have all the 5-star recruits. They have Jeremiah Smith, you know, best player in the country, freshman. They've got Sawyer on defense, and they have all these first-round picks. And Notre Dame does not have a single player that's going to be drafted in the first round of the NFL draft. They have 1 5-star player on the entire team. Ohio State, I think, has 14, some shit like that. So, yeah, on paper, we should get murdered. But it's just, there's something special about this team, man. I'm telling you, this quarterback we got, he plays like Josh Allen. He can't throw like him, but he can run like him. And Riley Leonard and just the defense, they just got a lot of heart. And they got the coach. I don't know. I feel like it's different. Like, if they win tomorrow, because that's what they always say about Notre Dame. Oh, so they get to the national championship. Alabama blows their doors out. Clemson blows their doors out. Well, tomorrow night we get to change that. It forever changes tomorrow night, and I think they know that. And this is Marcus Freeman's 3rd year as a head coach, and Lou Holtz won his first national championship in his 3rd year at Notre Dame. And I was 7 years old when Notre Dame last won the national championship, and my son is 7 years old. And that's the first season I remember. It is going to be the first season he remembers. I just feel like there's something special, man. I feel like something special is going to happen tomorrow night. So after my kid passes out tomorrow, I'll probably live stream myself watching it. Yeah. And like, who the fuck wants to root for Ryan Day? How much plastic surgery can one man have? What is, like, tell me, have you guys seen this guy's face? Like this, he had a facelift, right? Or something. You gotta look at this guy's face. Like, it's like something that he doesn't look human. Something happened. He definitely got a facelift. Dude looks like he's had more work done than Nancy Pelosi. I don't know. I just feel like tomorrow's the day. And yeah, we watched Rudy. My kids this week. You got to watch Rudy. But it's just, I feel like it's going to happen, man. Let's go. And and it's a shame. We disavow Kofen Doofus. She claims to be a fan. No, she's not allowed. She's done. But Anyway, so back to what we're here for. So that's that. If anybody would like to have their messages read out loud to the class, we don't do super chats here because we were the Biden administration, in their infinite wisdom, really kind of censored the internet a lot. They said, you know, they can't censor the internet themselves, but they can put pressure on tech companies to kick people off that they don't like, who are saying things that they don't like. And especially during COVID, when the vaccine came out, that was like one thing. Oh, they're saying that. Joe Rogan's saying that. You got to kick them off the platform. Oh, no, we can't have people bad mouthing the vaccine. Oh, this person on Twitter saying that. That's dangerous. It's dangerous to say the vaccine is not is something you shouldn't get. Everyone should get the vaccine. Haven't you seen Stephen Colbert's dancing vaccine dance? Everybody's so happy. The dance, it's cha-cha-cha. Get the fucking vaccine. And, you know, if you were like, nah, maybe not. Maybe, you know, I think I'm all set. I'm good. Then you were like, you couldn't be on the internet. Like that's not an exaggeration. And so I got kicked off. We got demonetized in 2021 because I said that, you know, I disagreed. Joe Biden gave the speech about how there was going to be consequences for people who, you know, he said he was getting tired of it. I think that's what he said. I'm getting pretty tired of you guys not getting on board and not getting a jab. We got, you know, Mayor de Blasio over here eating cheeseburgers and giving out free burgers to people who get the jab. Why don't you just get it? And I'm like, you know what? Honestly, at the time when it first happened, I would have got it because I don't really give a shit. I'm not anti-vax or anything like that. Whatever. Like I've gotten all my other jabs, right? It's one more. Like that's the way I viewed it. It was just a matter of like, it's inconvenient to me. It wasn't high. I'm lazy. You know, it's not high on my priority list. But the second that they were like, oh, you better do this. We're sick and tired of you not doing it. Then that was the moment that I was like, oh, really? Well, now I'm never doing it because fuck you. That's why. Like that was literally it. It was just, I didn't do it purely out of spite. There was no medical reason for it. There was nothing like, you know, I didn't research shit. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't, or RFK. I don't do any of that. I just like, I'm the type of person, when you tell me I have to do something, I'm like, go fuck yourself. You don't get to tell me what to do. Fuck off. That's it. So that was my stance on it. Anyway, we got demonetized because of that, which actually turned out to be the biggest blessing in disguise because there's no commercials on this channel because those suck. And on top of that, so if you do like the replay, you know, you don't get interrupted. But, you know, the super chats, they take like 30-40%. So I feel like we have a much better system now. So anyway, linked at the top of the chat is the turtle chat. You can click on that. You can pay whatever you want. And when you do that, I will get a notification or I will get a message. You get to write a message and I will read your message out loud to the class. We got a couple here. Okay. Let me start with this. And I don't know if this is from a while ago. Romy, she sent $100. She says, this is on January 15th. So I feel like this is a while ago. She said, KP is a vile human. She donated 100. I don't know if I said that. She deserves every lawsuit that may come her way. Meredith is a queen. Much love to both of you. Well, I agree with all things you said there. And for sure, KP is obviously a vile human. She's also just desperate for attention. So whatever. Another one. I don't know if this is, I don't remember reading this one from Daniel Baker. Sent $10. It says, no, actually I read that one. Okay. Never mind. All right. Krusty Peter donates $5 and goes, free Michael Stanikmas. Oh, is that the guy? Is that the guy that fucked the dog? Michael Stanikmas fucked the dog. Yeah, try that shit on Chloe, dude. That's not going to work out, you know? It says, Kerry Lama and I will be holding a standout for him this Sunday because Aidan hurt my feelings. Unfortunately, that's not really like an exaggeration. Krusty will befriend anyone and reach out to an ally with anyone I've written about, no matter how deplorable they are. Like murder is not, you know, like Jen McCabe was fine with her, you know. But one of the most disgusting ones she ever did that with was this dude named Ashley St. Angelo, aka Anthony St. Angelo. So he was this dude in drag who his kid Marissa went missing like 5 years ago. All right. And like she was in Rhode Island and the posters were up like this 16-year-old kid is missing. And then the kid commented on the page and was like, I'm not missing. I ran away from my dad, Ashley, because he's abusive and like locks me in my room and like doesn't feed me, like horrific shit. And I escaped. And I'm like, oh, so I did a story on it. And then Ashley St. Angelo sent me an email saying, that's not true. My daughter's a liar, blah, 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 blah. And I ended it up. Then I talked to the girl and her older sister who was living in Mississippi, is going to college down there or something. And I had them both on the show and they both told me all about the abuse that they went through. Like some of the most horrific shit. It's an old episode. I could probably bring it up sometime. Anyway, she ends up befriending, or Anthony St. Angelo or Ashley St. Angelo, whatever you want to call him. He's a him. Is now like one, I think he's a mod for Krusty Panties. Like, and she's totally taken the position that actually this guy is completely, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. And Aidan's a liar and so are his two daughters who came on the show and told their truth. So thank you very much, Krusty Peter, for that one. People are saying in the chat that it's not pinned to the top. Is that right? Oh, it's not. Oh, crap. I got to get the turtle chat then, don't I? Hold on. Turtle chat. Oh, crap. I didn't realize that. Wait, you do see it pinned? Let me refresh then. I don't see it pinned to the top of the chat. It's not on mine. You guys see it now? Yeah, all it said it pinned to the top was the show will start later. That's the only thing I saw. There it is. Okay. Now you guys see it. Awesome. Yeah, because it wasn't there before. And I thought maybe I just lost my touch because there's only a couple turtle chats there. But let's see. Kimmy gives $25 and says, if Karen gets to Meadows at 12:36, then did we see her intact taillight on the library cam? And who drove by the library at 12:39 that the Commonwealth doesn't want us to see? This is a really good question, Kimmy. And it confused me too. Because, okay, we know that library footage is missing from 12:37 to 12:39, which by our math is the exact time when Karen Reed would have been driving home, right? One of those voicemails that she leaves John, I believe, is at 12:41. And in the background, you can hear, I think I don't know if it's heels, but her shoes clicking. Like it's clearly in a garage. She's in a garage at 12:41. So 12:37 and 12:39 it disappears. 12:41, she's in the garage. That lines up. All of a sudden at the trial, Nicholas Garino was like, well, she logged into the Wi-Fi at 12:36. And I'm like, whoa. Slow down. I got a lot to process here. If she's back at 12:36 at the house, then that means that she couldn't have run him over at 12:32 as they're claiming, because it's not. Now, Plevin will tell you that she turned into Mario Andretti in the middle of a blizzard. But logic, as he likes to say, logic and common sense tells us that that's physically impossible. Oh, but what if it was 3:56? What if it was 12:36 and 59 seconds and she hit him at 12:32 and 1 second? Bitch, shut up. It's impossible. She's not doing that. Go do it, Plevin. Go do it. Either way, if she had, now that's a good point. If she logs into the what, I don't believe she was there at 12:36. I think he made a mistake. He's Nicholas Garino. He's fucking retarded, in case you can't tell. He's the guy that couldn't find 32,709 text messages that were deleted. He's the guy who Like, I really think he's fucking retarded, Nicholas Garino. He's fucking, but he thinks he's smart because he took an online class or some shit. But he's literally retarded. No offense to Westfield State graduates, but the guy's not exactly a rocket scientist. All right. So her getting home at 12:36 completely kills the narrative that she killed him at 12:32. It's done. So it's actually something that's beneficial to Karen Reed's defense if they want to use it. Like, they're offering up testimony that's useful to Karen Reed. But on the other hand, I reject it because I want the truth. I don't think she logged into the Wi-Fi at 12:36. I don't believe that, because why the fuck is the library footage deleted from 12:37 to 12:39, right? Because if she gets home at 12:36, that means she would have gone past the library at about what, 12:34, 12:33. Either way, that footage is not missing, and there's no Karen Reed going through there. So where the fuck is she? She had to go through there at some time. So I don't buy the 12:36 Wi-Fi connection. I don't. It doesn't. If I'm being fair, if I'm calling balls and strikes, it doesn't add up to the timeline. I do not believe she was back at the house at 12:36. I think she got back there at 12:40. I think she went through that intersection at 12:38. And that is why 12:37 and 12:39 is missing. And don't feed me this nonsense about, oh, it's motion activated. What? So like the surveillance system just doesn't work unless a car is going by it. No, stop it. It's not how this works. Nobody testified to that. Literally no one. So I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Okay. So thank you for that turtle chat for that one, Kimmy. All right, next one. But I think that what she was getting at there, I think she was getting at that somebody else drove by that they don't want us to see, like Colin Albert or some shit like that. I think that's what they're saying, but we'll see. Okay. Next turtle chat is from Sandra. Sandra donates $50. Thank you, Sandra. Says, do you think Kate and Lindsay represent themselves in court because they've been told it's taken care of, or because they can't find a lawyer to represent them? P.S. I was so happy to see you free of that horrible psycho LG. Yeah, we could talk about that. But do I think they represent themselves in court? No, I just think they're poor and they've run out of money. And they can't, I mean, how many fundraisers can you have before the well runs dry? They're trying to get money from broke ass people. And eventually, like, even the other side with the fake victim, they don't know, there's no appetite to donate to her anymore. Like, because it's just like, again, I mean, I've seen a couple of the McAlbert people who are like, bro, why are we donating to her? Like, she was in a relationship, or that, as she calls it, it was not, of course, but she was in a thing with Turtleboy. Like, she had no problem throwing herself at him with a free Karen Reed shirt and, like, being obsessed with him and not wanting him to leave. Like, she wanted him, and then she got dumped, and all of a sudden we're supposed to embrace her. No, thanks. She already did her job. She sent him to jail for 60 days. And now that she can't do that anymore, she's pretty fucking useless to them, isn't she? So, yeah, there's just they just fucking ran her over. They're done with her. But Krusty Panties gets court-appointed attorneys for all her criminal charges. And boy, does she have a lot of criminal charges. And they're very serious. These witness intimidation charges she's facing. She's facing felony witness intimidation charges in Leominster District Court and in Dedham District Court. With me, there's a plethora of audio of her threatening to, telling me do not show up for legal cases in which I am a witness. Now, she will claim, I'm sure, oh, I didn't know he was a witness. She knew. She doesn't, I could say the same about Elizabeth Proctor. I didn't know she's a fucking, I'm still charged with it, right? The difference between my cases and hers is that mine are all going to get dropped. They're either going to get dropped or we're going to beat it, because all I've said is, everyone should tell the truth. Ask people questions that made them uncomfortable. Did a couple impressions of Colin Albert on my show. Left a voicemail from Michael Proctor asking him why he's such a douchebag. Urged people, or didn't urge people. I posted the social media accounts for Elizabeth Proctor's work. None of that's illegal. None of those are involving any threats. Nowhere do I ever say, oh, you can't show up for court or you're going to get it. You're going to kick your ass if you show up for court. You better not testify there. Matt McCabe, I'm going to get you. Nothing like that happens. Whereas with her, she tells me, you better not come to court. We will have men there, Aidan. We will have men, and those men will beat you up. Okay? You know.
We have done. So the next court date, I would highly suggest Aidan not show up to it. It's not a threat. She is going to have protection with her this time. That woman is never going to be accosted by you in a parking lot ever again. Aidan.
No, she's
ever again. Do not show up. I'm telling you, do not show up.
I have never said to a witness in a case, do not show up for court. The case she's talking about is Commonwealth versus a woman by the name of Christina Yakimovsky. Christina sent me in 2019 an audio file of a phone conversation she had with a woman named Hadassah, who I had just written a 7-part, blog series about. A woman running a home, some sort of home for troubled women and pets in Milford. Okay. And I'd done like a 7-part blog series on her, and Christina Yakimovsky decided that she was going to, insert herself into this and called Hadassah and recorded the entire conversation without telling her. Okay. Now, I didn't really know Christina that well, and she sends me audio file of this with no words, nothing. It just said, it just said Hadassah. That's all it said. Sends me the audio file. I'm like, oh, this is good content. And I play it on my show. And I'm like, I probably have it somewhere. Maybe I'll get it to you later. I play it on my show. And Hadassah hears it and is like, I didn't consent to that. And so next thing you know, right, I get a call from the Milford police and say, this tape that you played on your show, did you know that it was illegally recorded? Like, who sent it to you? I'm like, oh, some chick named Christina Yakimovsky. Well, did she tell you that it was legally recorded? Nope. She didn't tell me anything. Okay. Thank you. You're all set. So I spoke with the Milford police, and I'm the main witness for the Commonwealth. I'm the only witness. I'm like the witness. So like she's telling me, do not show up to court, because long story short, Christina Yakimovsky and I had a falling out several years later, which is another story that'll take like fucking 2-hour show to explain. She's a dirty bitch, and she ends up, I forget, like I start going to her court hearings, and I start, put on my reporter hat, and I start asking her questions outside of court about the crimes that she committed. And, Krusty Panties didn't like that. So Krusty Panties in this thing is telling me, don't.
Have done. So the next court date, I would highly suggest Aidan not show up to it. It's not a threat. She is going to have protection with her this time. That woman is never going to be accosted by you in a parking lot ever again. Aidan.
No, she's
ever again. Do not show up. I'm telling you, do not show up.
Do not show up. Okay. So I'm a witness for the state, but I can't show up.
Don't do that. And I did think to myself, well, Aidan doesn't have a job site because he is unemployed. But what if people showed up to his wife's work?
Oh, so he's showing up to my ex-wife's job, threatening
5 feet tall.
That's so funny. When he tried to file his bullshit harassment orders on us, Brian Riccio had taken a photograph of him. And we waited outside the courthouse to see him come out for 25 minutes. He would not go out unless we were gone.
Yeah, but I George.
Oh, so they do it. They do it. It's okay when they do it.
Yeah, he would have to be here to do that. Okay, so there's a slight chance that Chili DeCastro might make an appearance at this bullshit court hearing. There's a chance that Aidan might too, because he seems to really like to lurk around. Again,
bring Mr.
Aidan,
Massel.
I will have men with me, actual men with actual testicles, and actual jobs and stuff. Real adult men will be with me. So if you're thinking of showing up and starting some malarkey, just really reflect on whether or not you're afraid of actual men. Because if you are, you should probably avoid that venue on that day.
Once again, telling me do not show up for court, because if you are afraid of men, then you're advised to stay home. I've never said anything like that. So I think her charges are a little bit more serious, than mine. But she says that, I was happy. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for all that. All right. Next up, Cheryl gives 25 and goes, "Hello, doctor. Thank you for all you do. Please give a shout out to my sister, who's a big fan of yours. Get well soon, Michelle. Oh, Michelle, get well soon. Hello. Hope you're feeling better. Thank you for liking my program. Love you. Thank you, Michelle. Go Bills." All right. Thank you. Deb sends $10 and goes, "Was the pool that was filled in at 34 Fairview or Brian's brother's house? Recently read that it wasn't at 34 Fairview." That's correct. It was not at 34 Fairview. It was the 1473 Washington Street address, currently owned by Fredo Albert, aka Tim Albert. That's where all the Alberts grew up, with Bernie Albert. It's kind of the epicenter of Albertville, if you will, is that 1473, I think, except 1473 Washington Street, which was owned by a McCabe or a Weeks person prior to that, because these people are all inbred freaks. All right, cool. Nicola sends $10, goes, "Who else think Bev looks like droopy dog character?" Turtleboy, I just sent you the photo on Facebook Messenger. Please pull it up for a vote. Let's see if I have it here. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. I guess I could see that. Just got it here. Now, what do you guys think? A little bit. I guess I could see it. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, she's kind of as apathetic as the Droopy Dog. Is that his name, Droopy Dog? So thank you for that one. All right. Scott sends $20, goes, "Please wish my beautiful wife, Lynn, a happy birthday." Happy birthday to Lynn. We love you long time, Lynn. January 19th is your birthday. Congratulations. Another year. Blue Hill, Maine's got your back. All right. Some Mainers in there. Nice to see. Thank you very much for that one. Also Cash Apps. My Cash App is $ Uncle Turtleboy. Got a couple here rolling in. First off, we got Wanda. No. Erica. No, this was on Friday. Erica sent 50 on Friday and said, "May you get justice." Well, thank you very much, Erica. Judy sends $50. And again, if you send in the money, unlike the, the fake victims GoFundMe there, if you send me money with a message, I'm going to read it. Okay. Because you paid for that. Now, that does not mean I endorse the message. Okay. I want to be very clear about that. And that's what they didn't understand, because they got a $2,000 donation from Michael Gaffney, who's obsessed with yours truly, and donated to her $2,000 for her legal defense out of spite, the fake victims. And he wrote a message shitting on Grant in the process. And you're not allowed, Grant wouldn't let that happen. So, or Grant's handler, crazy Julie Ginto there, she took down the comment. And so Gaffney took his ball and he went home and he took the $2,000. So they almost raised $4,000, and now they're back under $2,000 because of that. So I don't do that. If you put money, you send me $2,000, you can say whatever the fuck you want. But this one, we got Judy sending $50 here, and she says, "Fuck Jason Broyles, Aussie, and Miss Shorty for lying." So fuck Jason Broyles, Aussie, and Miss Shorty for lying. Okay, I don't know what that means. I like all those people. I've had pleasant conversation. I've never been on. I don't think I've been on Aussie's show. The timing hasn't worked out. It's the time zone thing, and the toilets spin it backwards down there. But Miss Shorty, we made it work. Me and the kangaroo there, True Crime Kangaroo, we had a little menage a trois there when I went on that program. And she was very nice to me. And Jason Broyles, big fan of Jason Broyles. And I'm not going to lie. I like Jason Broyles a lot. I like Haley Walbert more, but I do like Jason. He's a good guy. So, but Judy spent $50, so I'm going to read it. So thank you very much for that, Judy. All right, next up. My phone crapping out. Okay. Lorena sends Lorena. I apologize. Sends $5 and goes, did her phone ping the tower at 12:36? Closed this. That's what I thought. Well, no, they said she logged into the Wi-Fi at his house. That's what they said. Remember? Logged into the Wi-Fi. And to me, that makes no sense. All right, next one. Chad sends $5 and goes, was LG a KP weapon from the get-go? No. LG was not a KP. A lot of people think that, but I know I would obviously, like, she starts doing her thing with me and then goes on Twitter and follows all this drama, like Twitter is filled with drama. And she's like, okay, well, this woman's clearly obsessed with Aidan. And she figured out who my enemies were pretty quickly. And she created this account called Jane to start, being friendly with them. And they didn't know who she was. And then after December 9th, that is when, I dumped her because I wouldn't go over her house for a fake abortion during a show. Wasn't going to do it again. No more fake abortions. One was enough. Thank you. And of a fake baby, mind you. And I wouldn't do it. And so that was the night that she ran to, Jill Daniels, to Leah, and to Krusty. And it was very clear that they had never spoken before. They did not know each other. So I know some people think that they are plants. No, the fake victim just sought them out. Like, she's just evil. Like, once you understand that she's worse than all of them, like as vile as Krusty is and all these people, like, there is no one more vile than the fake victim. She is a lot. Like, I'm getting not sick of it, but like, kind of just roll my eyes. Every time people are like, well, she was, oh, they took advantage of her. They were using her. But no. She was playing them. She was lying to them about the circumstances of it all too. She is just the biggest piece of shit of all of them, like combined. Yeah. And my fake baby today would be 6 months old, man. He would be, sitting up, probably reading at a 4th grade level by now, because he's my son. Even though he was conceived as somebody who's not that smart, but is what it is. So, I miss my fake baby. Gone too soon. Fake abort. He could only survive so many fake abortions in real driveways. There's only so many fake abortions an imaginary baby can take. And I think about my fake baby all the time. I had a fake crib picked out. I had some fake names picked out. I had a fake custody situation already in mind. I had a whole fake life for this fake baby. And no closet. No closets. My fake baby was going to have a whole room. And it was going to be awesome. Okay. And yeah, my fetal alcohol fake baby would have been, wicked smart. He would have been the smartest fetal alcohol baby you've ever seen. So yeah, RIP to my fake baby. I really miss him every day. I think about him. And it's just, the house is empty without him, to be perfectly honest with you. So pray for him. Okay. All right. So there, thank you for that one. Next up, I can't believe this is my life. I'm like sharing this shit, and I'm like, you guys are probably horrified by some of the shit I've been sharing on Twitter. But this is, now that the order's gone, I feel much more comfortable sharing this stuff because it's the truth. Emily gives $25 on Turtle Chat and says, so we got Higgins making an appearance on the JFK show. Now we have Jen McCabe making an appearance at one of the FKR standouts today. Who do you think will be the next McAlbert to crack and make an appearance on a show or standout? I'm thinking Chris Albert. That man has a very short temper. Yeah, Chris is not afraid. It won't be Brian Albert. I couldn't believe Higgins was on there. Higgins is like a real low to the ground kind of guy. I know Higgins is watching me right now. I'm sure he is. Why the fuck wouldn't he be? So check this out. All right. So I went to Taunton today. So today was the big standout day. And there's pictures of it all over the Justice page. I haven't had a chance to go through them all. I had a lot to do today too. But I did make an appearance. Because I do appreciate everybody doing this. And I know Karen Reed does as well. I know she went to Middleborough and New Bedford. I'm not sure if she went to maybe Dighton. I went to Taunton, and then I went to Leominster, and I went to Auburn. There was only one. I didn't meet any. There was only one person. Like the Auburn one, I didn't even get out. There's no one there by the time I got there. I don't know if it ended too early, but whatever. A little miscommunication there. But Leominster, I've been to that one a bunch of times. But anyway, I like going to the Taunton ones because it's right in the green. It's cool, you know. But anyway, I guess so. I make a post on Twitter saying I'm going to Taunton. See you guys for the National Standout Day for Karen Reed, and it was great. You know, the weather wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. You know, it's been really cold lately, and all of a sudden, it just got to like 40-something degrees today. And you know, as Stringer Bell once said, you know, 40-degree days are pretty fucking awesome. You know, but anyway, no, 40 degrees are days you'll never remember. But I digress. At the Standout, there's this. In Taunton, there was this guy. Oh my God. So he immediately wants to tell me, oh, you and I need to talk, Turtleboy, he says. Oh, we do? Okay. Well, yeah, you got to hear about my story. Okay. Yep. So pro tip. Okay. Let me just explain this to you. I don't give a fuck about your story. Like if I go out to a public event and there's a lot of people there, I'm going to want to meet these people. I'm going to want to shake hands with them, take pictures, do all that shit. It is not the appropriate time for your bullshit, for you to come up to me and be like, Turtleboy, you got to hear about my corruption case. That makes me fucking hate you, actually. Like to the guy today doing that, like I was polite to you, right? I humored you. I wasn't rude to you, right? But I fucking hated you. I really hated you. And so did everyone else there. And I was saved by somebody who comes over and this guy. So the guy's telling me this whole story about, oh, this and that and corruption and blah, blah, blah. And then he gives me this handout. Actually, I'm going to go get it. I got it in the car. Don't go anywhere. You guys got to see this. Hold on. He gave me a piece of paper. All right. We're back. I think. There it is. All right. So he gives me this goddamn paper. It says Attleboro Police. Officer Safety, December 11th. And it's his picture on there. His name is Glenn Lamar. Lemar from Rehoboth. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this guy before. But it says, on December 11th, at approximately 8:38 a.m., Lamar called the Bristol County DA's office in Attleboro and alleged that he was going to record the conversation with staff. Okay. He made statements about police reform in the state of Massachusetts that needed to be signed and put into effect today. Lamar continued to ramble on about several Rehoboth officers and said that he could, quote, just turn around and shoot a cop if his demands were not going to be met. So this guy calls up a police station and tells them, if you don't give in to my demands for police reform, I'm going to kill a cop. He gives me this. And then he goes, officers should be aware that Lamar is well known to this department and has known acute mental health issues. His current mental state was recently determined to be volatile and aggressive, and he has been known to resort to violence in previous encounters with police officers. This bulletin is being provided for officer safety and awareness only and is not for secondary dissemination. But I have it somehow. Officers having any future interaction with Lamar are asked to contact Attleboro police detectives. So he gives this to me. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, yeah, you're fucking, oh, I feel so much sympathy for you, my dude. Yeah, let's fucking write about this corruption. Like, what? And he's like telling me about this. And he's like, I got to tell you more. And I'm like talking to people, and you can, when you can just sense someone hovering over you, just waiting for you to finish up their conversation so they can just jump in there. And that was what he was doing. He was like, I could just feel him. I could just sense him over my shoulder, just hovering, waiting for my like people just want to talk to me. I'm fucking Turtleboy. You know what I mean? Like I go there and we take pictures and we talk about the Kearney case and we, whatever. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for your bullshit at all. I'm not here for it. I fucking hate you. So the guy tried coming over to me, and luckily a couple turtle riders that were there were like, hey, you want to take a picture? Like they saved me. And then finally I had to tell him, like when he came up, like, you're like, dude, you're not taking a hint. You're not, not now. Not now. Anyway, Lamar's in the chat. You need to learn some manners, Lamar. Okay. You need to learn how to like behave around other people. It's not appropriate. Okay. A thing called boundaries. I go, you just email me, dude. That's the appropriate way to do this. And other people have come up to me like, well, I emailed you and I sent you a message and I never heard back. Oh, that was by design. There was a reason for that. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested in what you're saying. So there's that. Anyway, apparently this dude, so I announced I'm going to Taunton, and all of a sudden this chick named Carrie Lama, oh my God, who is, she's the one who was, what the fuck is her Twitter? I don't even remember. Mama something. There she is. Okay. She's the one who is good friends with Jen McCabe, who hosted the pool party where Fake Victims kids almost drowned, I guess, a bunch of times. And she was featured on Phelps's podcast and told the hilarious story about how the McCabes are great people because Matt McCabe makes coffee for the garbage man and drinks with him for 15 minutes every time the garbage gets picked up. So anyway, yeah, let me pull this up, her thing. Okay, this is her. I love the new feature. You're blocked. You could still see it. Okay. Oh yeah, new president tomorrow too, huh? That should be interesting. All right, let's see. See if I can oh yeah, so this is the tweet that she had. It just said, a few friends and I had planned to stand out for John in Taunton after the FKR finished their national standout, but an insane turtle rider drove us away. Frightening. I guess only pink people are allowed at the Taunton Green. Stay safe and normal people. Okay. So, a couple things about that. First of all, I'll take things that never happened for $500. Okay. Oh, wait, I'm getting the TB admin in here. Did I do something? Usually that's a bad sign if I get the TB admin in there. Hold on. Am I doing something wrong? Usually this is Laura from London telling me to move my phone away, usually to the microphone. I don't know if there's static. Usually that's what it's for. I bet you that's what it's for. Okay. Anyway, so yes, this is her tweet. And but even if this was true, couple things. Number one, the fact that you're showing up to one of our events to kind of you can't get you couldn't go another time. You had to copy us. You're that pathetic. You're like that, like you, and it had to be in Taunton. There's a million places you could do I don't think there was one in Boston today. You could have done that. Brookline, Newton. There's a lot of densely populated urban areas with a lot of traffic that you could have been seen in. Brockton, go down the list. I mean, I think we've had one when Quincy and Weymouth today. We always have those covered. But Fall River was available. You could have done Fall River. Could have done, I don't know, Framingham. There's a lot of places you could have done. But you didn't, like in the North Shore is really underrepresented these things. We got Woburn and Stoneham, and that's it. There's nothing else. There's never a Revere one or a Everett or Chelsea or Malden or, anything like that. We should have more up there, but we don't. Anyway, maybe just people have less of an interest because it's not Norfolk County, but so they have to show up to ours to copy us, and because they can't even get their own shtick. And the fact that they show up, of all the places to show up, they show up to the one where I announced I was going to be at. It wasn't even like the biggest one today. Dedham is really the epicenter of the Free Karen Reed protests. Like that is always the biggest one. That's like boots on the ground, weekly standouts there. And, it was a big one today, obviously. And yeah. So yeah. And I can show some videos. Yeah. Shout out to the Leominster people. You're small, but mighty, Crystal. Absolutely. So I love going to the Leominster one every time. Some of them are small, like Middleborough one's always small, but it's always a spirited bunch of people, isn't it? The Bourne Rotary people, the Quincy people, the Weymouth people. God bless all of you guys. Anyway, so back to this tweet. What's wrong with it? So not only is she coming to where she knows I'm going to be at, right? But let's suppose this is real. Let's suppose you went down there because you care about John O'Keefe so much and you want to have justice for him because you're sick of Karen Reed's pink people, as you call them, controlling the narrative about this, right? They're much more effective. So you want to be like, we are here for justice for John O'Keefe. First of all, if you actually did that, if you actually went out with signs that said justice for John O'Keefe, you would be indistinguishable from Free Karen Reed people, because I saw tons of people today with John O'Keefe shit, like holding, you wouldn't even be original. They would think you're Free Karen Reed because we want justice for John O'Keefe. That's what they don't understand. It's like they're trying to trademark or something, or be like, no, we're for justice for John O'Keefe. No, bitch, we've been justice for John O'Keefe from the beginning. You guys just tried to usurp this from us, and it's not working. Like, you brought a bunch of ragtags and clowns, and now we're justice for John O'Keefe. You are cover for the McAlberts. That's all you are. You don't want justice for John O'Keefe. You are standing for justice for the people who murdered John O'Keefe. That's what you want. You don't want justice for them. Actually, you want them to get away with it. That's what you really want. You want, corruption to continue. You want murderers to go free. That's what you want, so people wouldn't even know who the fuck you were. They would be like, oh, these are more Free Karen Reed people. It's great to see, which would have been awesome. But let's suppose they really actually gave a shit about John O'Keefe, which they don't, because they murdered him. And they show up there and they're like, hey, justice for John O'Keefe. We love John, and he's a great guy. Okay, I would respect that. But they show up there and then they leave. You left. John sacrificed his life and you couldn't even go on the Taunton Green because you were scared of some guy. How dedicated are you to the cause? You're that fucking lazy? You're that lazy? You're that scared and pathetic? Oh my God. Oh my God, what losers. But none of them actually care. But anyway, it was caught on video. I think I have a copy of it. Is this it? Yeah, here it is. So let's go watch this video real quick. Okay, so I don't have any audio. So this is a little confusing. It's a tape. So the crazy guy, this dude, Glenn Lamar, is down there, and he's not part of the free Karen Reed thing. He had no interest in the Karen Reed case whatsoever. He is there to get me to write about this, whatever the fuck this is. He's like, Turtleboy, you'll have my back, right? So he's just a run-of-the-mill crazy person with, you know, no connections whatsoever to the Karen Reed movement. All right. And he apparently notices that he's the crazy guy they were talking about. So there was a crazy guy. It's him. And he notices that a couple people are sitting there being creeps, spying on us, taking videos. And so that, like, and he notices them. All right. And he starts taking a video of them. And so this other woman was like, can I have a copy of that video? And he's like, oh yeah, I'll text it to you. And then she's like, yeah, I'm not giving you my number. Why don't I just take a video of your video? So the you know, it's like, there's like, you could see his face in it. That's his face right there. Because she's filming his phone. Okay. Which of course is cracked. But this is just too good. Now, according to her, this video, Jen McCabe was in the front seat of the car. That's what she says. Okay. But I do not see Jen McCabe's face in this. I've seen no evidence of that, but I have eyewitness testimony telling me Jen McCabe. So Jen McCabe, who is so scared, is literally showing up to places I'm at to troll me, I guess, or something like that. So let's just watch this video. So this is Carrie Lamas driving. So is this, whose finger is this? Is this the woman Okay, this is a woman filming the phone. Okay. And okay. So you see it here? You see it? That's the woman holding her. That's Jen McCabe, right? In the passenger seat right here. This is her, isn't it? Why else would she be hiding her face like that? And then there's Carrie Lama. Look at her. They're just, imagine being these grown-ass women. This woman's a pediatric nurse somehow. She should never be allowed around children. She's a danger. She's a danger to children. I really, truly feel that way. That's my opinion. Just because she supports murderers, so you can't trust her. But she's sitting around on a Sunday just stalking us like a creep, and then some nut job notices her and films her, and so she gets the fuck out of there. She wasn't there to do a standout. I don't see any signs. She's just sitting there. Look at her. Look at that face. What a fucking loser. And Carrie, I told you, I met a couple guys at the Patriots Seahawks games, your son's friends. And they were all like, dude, she's nuts. She's like our friend's mom, but she's fucking insane. That's what they all say about you. You're the crazy mom. Look at you. Oh, look at that. Busted. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. This is different. And then there's Jen. Okay. So she gets out of Dodge. What the fuck kind of license plate is that? KC1 veteran? She's a veteran? What is she a veteran of? Twitter? I survived the Twitter wars of 2024. I survived the Karen Reed Twitter wars. I'm a combat veteran. I'm a veteran now. Sure you are. Yeah, so that was them. They actually had the chutzpah to show up, but then they didn't actually do anything about it. But anyway, I guess they don't want justice that bad as we do. So thank you, Emily. Tammy gives $5 and goes, has Karen Reed ever spoken about whether she did or did not ask Jen M to Google how long to die in cold? Yes. Well, she's never taken the stand. So she hasn't said it on the record, but she has told me in no uncertain terms that she did not Google that. And I think we all, or she not asked Jen to Google that. I think we all kind of had common sense and figured that as much anyway. because why would she ask Jen McCabe to Google that at all? Like, if you're on, like, no, it doesn't make any sense at all. And her own testimony at the time when Karen Reed allegedly told her this was happening was when John was being wheeled into the ambulance, and that they were sitting in the back of Sergeant Good's car together. Sergeant Good testified that no such thing ever happened where they were sitting in the back of the car together at 6:24 when this Google search happened. We don't know. Well, we see that John is being wheeled into the ambulance 6:15, not 6:24. So it has to be a lie. So she's just a liar. That's it. So thank you for that one. Retired prison captain gives $10 and says, "Keep up the great work, doctor. Also, tomorrow's a good day for America. Trump is ready to fuck." Yeah, it's round 2. We'll see what happens this time around. Hopefully gas prices go down. I've noticed they're going down already. That's a good thing. Peace in the Middle East is happening. That happened. We got the hostages back. That's good. Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be cool? As soon as Donald Trump gets elected president. So that'd be cool. All right. Thank you. Okay. Let me just refresh this if we have any more. Rebecca sends $5, goes, "In your hearing with Lindsay, how did she go from, 'Are you aware I only had 2 drinks' to, 'Isn't it true I was blackout drunk'? Free Turtleboy, free Karen Reed." So what she was trying to get at there, Rebecca, but did not succeed, is she was trying to suggest that I drugged her, because I've seen her post this in other places, that I roofied her, right? That he put something in my drink and I don't remember it. I've been over this a bunch of times. Okay. She was just embarrassed by her behavior that night. She said a lot of mean things to me. I saw her true colors for the first time, and she didn't want to lose me, right? If you were her, you know what? Like, I don't want to toot my own horn here, but I was probably the best thing that ever happened to her. Like, as far as men go, like, I followed a line of junkies like that. I was the only person with her probably in the last lifetime that was sober, for the most, you know what I mean? Like, not addicted to heroin, hadn't been to jail before dating her, anything like that. And she didn't want to lose that. Like, I'm also fucking Turtleboy. Like, she was attracted to me because of that. Like, if I was a teacher still, she would have no interest in me, like, at all. Like, she was attracted to me because I was Turtleboy. And so she didn't want to give that up. Why the fuck would she want to give that up? So she behaved poorly that night, and I saw her true colors, and she didn't want to lose that. And so she had to come up with some shit like, "Oh, I don't remember that. Oh, I don't remember anything. I was so drunk. I don't remember anything." She was not that drunk at all. She was fine. She was just, her true colors came out and she was ashamed of it. So anyway, she testified that because she's suggesting that I roofied her, which is even more ridiculous because, I had already been seeing her on Friday nights and occasional Tuesday mornings, all right, for the last month. It's what we call in the biz a sure thing, right? You don't roofie a sure thing. Like, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Roofies are for creepy guys at frat parties who can't get laid, right? Normally. So they roofie the girl because otherwise they couldn't sleep with her, right? You don't roofie somebody if she's a sure thing. Okay? Like, that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Like, make that make sense. Like, oh yeah, so you were just, and if you saw all the other text messages, if we want to go there, you haven't seen those, the nasty ones, right? It would be even less credible. You'd be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would he roofie you? That makes no sense whatsoever at all. So yeah, that's that. Okay. Next up, Carrie Ann sends $15, goes, "Is it confirmed the fake victim is behind the Twitter account of your mom that was so vile, deranged, and gross? I'm sorry that happened. Whoever the psycho was who created it." Yes, that was definitely her. As you saw in the group chat, She, posted about it, and I'll give you, I posted some of those, I think. It's been a wild week. It's been a bad, there's no, Karen Reed stuff going on, no updates. So it's okay to talk about this shit this week. But, what was I going to say? I forget where I went. Anyway, what was the question again? Oh, the fake Twitter account. Yeah, that was a nasty one. So it was definitely her because the account was saying things that I only told her. It was like it was getting it wrong, but it was like, and it knew shit. Like it is like, for instance, on the tape from December 23rd, when I'm over her house, at one point in the tape, she says something to the effect of, "Oh, you're the only one in your family of your siblings that didn't go to Notre Dame. You're a failure. You went to UMass." I don't know if you guys remember that part of the tape where she's like, "You went to UMass. Everyone else in your family went to Notre Dame," and blah, blah, blah. And the Twitter account says the exact same thing. Like it said, and it was created by her clearly, right when that happened. And she's also sharing it, and then she goes in the chat, she goes, "Who did this?" That's like something you say when you're like, "Oh, I did this." Yeah, check. "Oh, who did this? This is wow." And everybody immediately knows it's her. Immediately. So it was deranged, man. It was fucked up. She's fucked in the head to do something like that. Evil, all because why? For a guy that you had a fling with for 3 months who wants nothing to do with you? Jesus Christ. All right. Jason Broyles sends $10 and goes, "Dear Judy, no thanks." Ooh, shots fired back. Thank you very much. Romy sends $50 and goes, "Fake baby Clay. Gone, but not forgotten." That was my name for the fake baby. It was going to be Clay. Clay Kearney. R.I.P. to baby Clay. Love you, baby. Okay. All right. Any other turtle chats here? All right, cool. All right. If anyone else wants to have their message read out loud to the class, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $Uncle Turtleboy, and we can do it that way. All right. So there's a real lull, obviously, with the Karen Reed case. I wrote about a couple other stories this week, obviously, about the dog fucker and where, and this whole Assumption College party thing. Oh, that reminds me. So I want to talk about that Assumption thing real quick. Consumption University. So if you guys saw this, so there was this, where'd it go here? All right. So apparently there's these vigilante predator poacher people. And I've done a lot of stories on these people. I like them. I think they do good work. They pretend to be children, like minors. And then they go on apps and they advertise themselves as younger, and they see if any of these these diddlers want to fuck them, right? And then they do meetups, and then you meet up, and it's like, oh shit, it's this Puerto Rican guy, it's 30-year-old Puerto Rican guy actually named Jay, and your life's over. And it's good, very entertaining for me. It does a public service. I like them a lot. I'm pro predator poacher, right? But with TikTok, it's like these young kids try doing it, and they do it all wrong, and they all want to be predator poachers. And there's these Assumption kids. So it starts with this chick. Her name is Kelsey Brainerd. She's an 18-year-old at Assumption College. Okay. And she's on Tinder, and she meets this guy, right? He's a 22-year-old guy, and she meets him, and they go to her dorm room. And so he's like, "Oh, well," he's like, "You want to meet up? Oh yeah, cool. Come over. We'll hang out." Tinder is a let's fuck app. It's not like a let's get to know each other thing. It's a let's fuck app. And so and she goes to Assumption So she says she's 18 in the messages, and you would assume she's 18 because she's in college, obviously, and it's like January. So it's not like one of these things where you're like, oh, I had an October birthday. I was 17 when I first got started, but then, I turned. Everyone there is 18 by now. There's nobody who goes to Assumption College is there still static? Oh, for fuck's sake. It's far away. I don't know. Nobody who goes to Assumption College is, not 18 years old. So he's there to meet an adult, right? But she tells a different story, right? She tells like all her friends. So she's like messaging the guy with her guy friends. She's like around some guy friends, and the guy friends are like, hey, let's fuck with them a little bit. Let's do this to catch a predator shit. Say you're 17. So first of all, 17, brother, in this state is legal. So that's not even like, you wouldn't even be catching any. It's weird. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's not illegal. So you're not even like getting anyone on anything illegal, which defeats the purpose of it all. Like, if you're going to do this, you got to say 14 or lower. Like, I mean, act like you've been there before. That's how all the great predator poachers like Jay from Lemonster, that's how they do it, So, or Jay from Fitchburg, sorry. The legends. I don't know what happened to his channel. I can't find it anymore, but yeah, you got to say you're a fucking kid, or else it loses the shock value. So say you're 17. Okay. So she apparently tells these guys, okay, I'm going to say I'm 17, but she's not. She's saying 18. And she invites him over. And then the guys all tell their buddies on the floor, we got a guy coming over. He's a pedo. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. We're going to track this guy down, and we're going to teach him a lesson. We're going to teach this guy a lesson. And he goes there and he thinks he's going to get lucky. And he's sitting down there. And next thing you know, all these dudes pop out with cameras and like chase him into the street. Let me see if I retweeted that video. Here it is. All right, let me show this video. This is the actual video. All right, so they're like, how you doing, bro? So this cunt right here is sitting here knowing, like, that's just evil. Like, she's just sitting there loving it. Like, oh, this is great. I'm just going to set this poor guy up. This guy thinks he's getting laid. It's clearly not happening.
How are we doing,
You're here to meet a 17-year-old, but she didn't, and she's just sitting there.
You're 22?
You're 22? This poor kid. Now, this kid apparently is in the military, and he, and he's having hands put on him right there. That's illegal. And they try not to let him leave. They try to prevent him from leaving. So I think that's one of the perpetrators that was arrested. He's like touching him, and he's just like, get me the fuck out of here. Dude. I mean, he didn't exactly dress up for a date either. It's like, come on, you got to put a little effort in. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to get lucky, like, come on, you're wearing the sandals with socks and the Go Pats sweatshirt. You ain't going to get lucky like that, dude. Come on. What are we doing here? Like, that's, speaking of roofie, that's like a roofie outfit. Like, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. You got to wear a sure thing outfit. Anyway, so that's more hands. Like, this is detaining him now, they are detaining him. They're not letting him leave. So these bitches are all laughing like it's funny. It's funny. And this is the girl, right? That was on the couch. That's her, right? They're all laughing about it. Oh, this is so funny. We're fucking with this guy. Yeah, that's her. That's Kelsey Brainerd. She thinks it's funny. Funny. It's so funny.
Let me see what happened.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, get him, bro. And they follow this guy to his car, and they've surrounded his car.
He's got a nice car.
And somebody.
Oh my God.
First of all, this is so dangerous. Like, so just dangerous. If this guy was an actual predator, this would still be fucking dangerous. Like, what if one of these people gets run over by gets run over? Like, what the fuck are you doing? So this kid's 22. He's here to meet an 18. All of this is legal. And these idiots are all trying to be like these bootleg predator poachers. And
he's got a nice car.
Oh my God.
yeah. Like they're not letting him leave. And one of them yo, bro. Yeah, bro. Let's go on TikTok, bro. Yeah, bro. That's totally cool, man. Yeah, dude.
Your life's over, buddy.
Your life's over, buddy.
We gotta run us over.
Should have got his ass, dude. So yeah, that's against the law. You can't do that, as it turns out. And yo, bro, yeah, that guy, we're gonna be on TikTok, dude. This is so cool, bro. Yeah, it's really not though. It's actually a crime what you just did there. At least now some of them apparently thought that they were there for an actual pedophile because they were being lied to by the head cunt Kelsey Brainerd, and they, the police look into this and they go and watch the surveillance video, and then they go and they read all of her messages, and they're like, wait a minute, you told him you were 18 and you're smiling on the way in here. You invite him in here. These guys are laying in waiting for him. Like, what? You're actually evil. Like, you're laughing about it. And so they all got charged. So this Kelsey Brainerd from Holyoke, she gets charged with kidnapping, conspiracy to commit kidnapping, and witness intimidation. She's the only one that caught that charge because the witness intimidation statute is so broad in this state that if you mislead a police officer in a criminal investigation, you've committed witness intimidation against the cop. So the cop becomes the victim of your witness intimidation because you misled them during a criminal investigation. So she catches 3 charges for that. There she is on her way out of Worcester District Court this week. All right. Then there's Kevin Carroll, who is from Holden, my town. Okay. And so he's a real nerdling, Eagle Scout. And he gets charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon because he apparently tried to slam the victim's head with the door of his car while he tried to get away. So this kid is cool for the first time in his life. He's like, oh, I'm going to be on TikTok, bro. Yeah. See, yeah. You guys think I'm cool now, right? I'm not a nerd. I'm in college. I'm one of the guys. We're going to get this guy, right? Yeah. We're cool. Yeah. We're edgy. Yeah. Not so cool now. You should have just stuck to the scouts, dude. You should have stuck to being a nerd. You had that down pat. Just stick with being a nerd. When nerds try to be cool, it doesn't work out well. Like, your role in life, God put you on earth to be a nerd, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just embrace your nerddom. Screech did. I know he's dead, but it works out. Like, a lot of nerds, you will grow up and you'll be rich, and then some hot woman will want to fuck you just because of your money. That's the nerd dream. That's the whole point of being a nerd, is that you're wicked smart, and middle school sucks and high school sucks. And, all the jocks are mean to you, and they give you swirlies and stuff like that, but you're going to get the last laugh. That's the best part about being a nerd, is that, you're going to get the last laugh because you're going to, launch rocket ships into outer space, or do somebody's taxes, and make a good amount of cash. And then all of a sudden, all these girls who didn't want nothing to do with you in high school are all going to want you. And instead of telling them to go fuck themselves, you're going to bang them because you have no pride. So that's the whole point of being a nerd. So this kid didn't understand it, didn't get the directions. And there he is with his family. Now, normally I would crop out the family members' faces, but not in this case, because as it turns out, I've written about his mother before. Okay. So his mother's name is Stacy Carroll, and she lives in my town of Holden, and she's part of the Holden Democratic Town Committee. And I did not get their endorsement when I ran for office. I ran for school committee in 2021. I thought I was going to be a shoo-in because I was Turtleboy. I'm like, well, if nobody shows up for these town elections, I can just get a whole bunch of people excited. And I was just pissed off about the COVID shit. That's the only reason I ran. I'm like, they closed the school. My kid in kindergarten was doing gym class in a room, jumping over a piece of paper. I'm like, this is unacceptable. We need better people running our schools. That's why I was running. That was my only interest in it. And so 6 people ran and only 3 could get elected. And the 3 people who the Holden Democratic Town Committee endorsed, they all won. And it's not surprising because this is a town that was like 60-40 for Biden. So Democrats are going to win, period. I'm not going to win. Okay. I lost. I got 5th. I beat one person. Okay. So anyway, they were really worried I was going to get on because I had the most yard signs. I definitely had the most. I won the yard sign game big time. They were Aidan Kearney for school committee signs all over town. They were green and black and white. It was just such Turtleboy colors. I did standouts. Like if you were to drive around this town in April of 2021, you'd be like, oh shit, fucking Turtleboy's going to win this fucking election. Holy shit. And then election day comes around and I didn't win, but that's okay. So they were all worried about it. So this is what Stacy Carroll, who is Kevin Carroll's mother, posts. Holdenites, as you prepare to vote for your school committee members on May 10th, I encourage you to watch this video of an erratic, racist massage therapist candidate who incidentally refers to children as crotch fruits. They used to get so mad about that back in the day. Oh, this is back before people hated me for Karen Reed. Like everybody, the trolls all hate me because I want justice for John O'Keefe and Karen Reed now. Back in the day, they hated me because I said crotch fruits a lot. I called kids crotch fruits. I called my own kids crotch fruits. Some people got like, my mom didn't like that. But some people just couldn't get over crotch fruit. I thought it was hilarious. South Shore Turtle Girl was the one that came up with that name, and I loved it. I loved it. So we'd always be like, oh, look at these crotch fruits. All right. And so I'd call kids crotch fruits, and it's a joke. I'm like, I'm Turtleboy. You know what I mean? It's like, I would call them semen demons sometimes too. I had a lot of funny names for children. All right. And it wasn't a shot at children. It's just, it's just Turtleboy. It's just a brand. I just say funny shit. It's like a joke. So anyway, this is back when people would get mad at me about calling people crotch fruits and calling me a racist and a massage therapist and all this stuff. So she goes, and if you think this is someone you want representing our school and children. And so she shares this video, and this is a Krusty Panties video. It's like one of those Turtleboy bad videos. And of course, it's just a bunch of out of context, clips with sad piano music being like, Aidan Kearney says horrible things about people. Here he is. And then it's like my greatest hits. Why don't you go fuck yourself? And your stupid crotch fruit, he can get fucked too. It's like, who cares? Stupid. Anyway, so then in the comments, somebody's like, this is an anybody but him situation. I have seen a number of his signs in Holden neighborhoods. It's distressing. I know. I see those signs and my heart sinks. Then she goes, there are many people, including some elected officials in our town, who support him. It makes me sad that people don't think our kids deserve better. So yeah, that was true. Many elected, like the select board liked me. Everybody liked me. They didn't like me though. And so there's, I mean, does this not say it all? I like the fact that somebody who looks like this and actually posed for a picture like this didn't like me and didn't want you to vote for me tells me I'm probably doing something right. So yeah, she also wrote this whole fucking email to the select board. You got to read it. It's funny. Anyway, she should probably focus more on her own crotch fruits because her crotch fruit is out here catching charges for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. So maybe you better get your own house in order there, Stacey Carroll. All right. And then this other kid, he caught a charge. I think he's the one in the video who's actually touching him. That's kidnapping, brother. You can't do that. You're off the track team. And then there's Isabella Trudeau, who lives in the town next to me of Sterling. And she caught the same charges. And she like tried to cover for her friend in the police report. Just look at her. You can tell that that's a bad girl right there. I could tell just by looking at her. And so I looked up, and there she is at Student Government Day. So funny story about this one I found out too. So you ready for this? All right, let me see if I can. Let's see if I have it. What the fuck's her mom's name? Oh, Heather. Heather Trudeau, that's it. Did she take her page down? Oh, she might have taken her page down because she knows I'm coming, doesn't she? That's smart. Or is this it? Oh, yeah, this is her. I think this picture's a little old. There she is. Okay. So this is that's her right there. And this is the daughter that just got charged. So that's her, the mother. Her name's Heather Trudeau. And I looked up and did a little research, and I was told to look into her court records, mom's court records. And boy, I find something interesting because I always do. All right. So she was currently charged recently in Worcester District Court with asportation, which is like stealing, shoplifting by asportation. On November 20th, 2024, at approximately 5:22 p.m., I was dispatched to 529 Lincoln Street, the Target in Worcester, for a shoplifting. That's our local Target in Worcester and Holden. Upon arrival, I spoke with the named and identified caller, who is the Target Assets Protection Specialist. The caller stated that she caught Heather Trudeau shoplifting $83.11 worth of merchandise, which included all in motion apparel, Enri Tupicacan Bits Electronics, whatever that is, Skippy, I think a peanut butter. So she stole peanut butter, GG butter, Lowry's, Nutella, Diet Pepsi, and Up and Strong Health and Beauty. If you're stealing Nutella and peanut butter, you're just doing it for the thrill of it. Like she lives in Sterling. Like it's not cheap. I mean, it's not like a fancy town or anything like that, but it's not Worcester. Like it's a fine town, Sterling. And so she can't be that poor or broke. If you're stealing peanut butter, you're just doing it for the thrill of it. And you live in Sterling, you're just doing it for fun. The caller searched Miss Trudeau's name in the system and realized that Miss Trudeau is a top offender for them. She had shoplifted 26 times prior to today, making her total $1,261 at the Worcester Target. She also has shoplifted at approximately $1,400 worth of merchandise from the Target in Millbury and another $1,400 at another location. So three different places. Okay. I mean, this is klepto. You're just doing it for the thrill of it. Like it's just, you fucking love taking shit because nothing else, she just like, it gets her. It's a fucking high. It's just like, ooh, I have a car full of shit. I'm just fucking walking out with it right now. That's all. Because you're not sticking Nutella in your crotch. Like you're putting it in I'm sure she's just walking right out the fucking door with it, right? You can't hide any of this shit. You're just doing it for fun. And it's not the crime of the century or anything like that. It's fucking Target, But what the fuck is wrong with you? How the fuck do you steal that much shit? So anyway, not shockingly, her daughter is now a criminal too. So there's that. And yeah. Then there was, who else was there? Yeah, there was then this guy from Vermont who they tried to throw under the bus, Easton. He was part of them, bullying. And yeah, like I said, the whole thing was a setup by that cunt who's like laughing in there, and you know, they can all get fucked. They can all get fucked. That's what I think of them. But okay. What else do we have here? So that's that story. All right. Was there another turtle chat here I got to read? All right. Deep Woods Thinker sends $5 and goes, M. William Fails is no longer even in the top 200 on Apple Podcast. He wasn't lying when he was said big numbers. He wasn't lying, or he was? Yeah, because I don't even see him in there. So thank you very much, Deep Woods Thinker. Yaya Adam sends $10 and goes, thanks for all you do for this movement, Turtleboy. I've never been to Fairview until tonight in the snow, and I can't believe how small the street is. Just like you and everyone else that's been there has said, the flagpole and the lawn was clear as anything. You'd have to be driving blind not to see a body. Exactly. They're liars and losers. I appreciate that. Sandra sends $10 and goes, I think you missed my second question regarding ARCA. I sent it right after my question about Kate and Lindsay getting lawyers. I can look again. And why didn't you just send it in the second one? Okay. Oh yeah, she sent $25 earlier. I did miss this. And she says, one more question. Do you think Hank will be successful in keeping the ARCA guys out? Sandra, I do not think he will be. If he couldn't keep Dr. Russell out, then he's not going to keep out the ARCA guys, because all due respect to Dr. Russell, nobody compares with the Crash Daddies. They are the two of the most impressive people you'll ever see, and they're so good, and they're just going to fucking destroy him. I don't know why Hanky wants to do this to himself. Like, Hanky, you're going to get destroyed by these guys. They're going to fuck you up. And I'm kind of looking forward to my time with Spanky, because we're going to have to do the whole Turtleboy can't be in the courtroom thing all over again, aren't we? Like, if Adam Lally filed a motion, because I still got a press pass, and these bogus charges are probably still going to be going on when trial number 2 starts. So, you know, Brian Albert's going to be like, I'm scared of Turtleboy. I can't have him in the courtroom, and I'm still going to have a press pass, and I'm still going to be there. So they're going to have to argue this again. They're going to have to stop the trial. And this time it's going to be Spanky. We're going to have to do this again. You know, where he gets up there. I actually have it. Let's watch that right now. When I got kicked out of the courtroom, this for me was like one of the most interesting days of the trial. Obviously, I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden my lawyer arrives, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And all the other reporters like, is this about you? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And then he pulled me aside. It's like, yeah, they filed a motion to kick you out. And Adam Lally's going to read it here. Let's play this.
Sure. Adam Lally for the Commonwealth, Your Honor.
Sarah McLaughlin for the Commonwealth. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of non-party Aidan Kearney, who for the record is present in the courtroom.
Does Mr. Kearney want to sit with you?
I think he's okay right there.
Okay.
If that's all right, Your Honor.
All right. So
next time, by the way,
so I do
like I said this before, when this happens next time, I'm going to take the seat there, because I'm like, I'm on TV. You got to, you got to build the brand up a bit. You got to take advantage of this. I sat in the press box symbolically, because I'm like, if they're going to kick me out, I want to be kicked out from the press box. That's what I want. And people are like, who would argue it? And I don't want to, obviously, because I have 2 attorneys now, I have Bradle and Betterow. Doesn't matter to me. But I will say this, doesn't matter who argues it. Auntie Bev's kicking me out. Like there's 0.0% chance she is going to allow me to stay in the courtroom. 0.0. Fucking Johnny Cochran couldn't keep me in that courtroom. With this judge, no way. No way. So they stopped like the most highly publicized trial in the world right when it started getting interesting. We were all done with all the firefighters. Chris and Julie Albert had just gone. She just said Bukkake in court. And now Nicole and Brian Albert are there. And it's like, And so this happens.
I want to say a question before we begin. Commonwealth, in your motion to exclude an individual charged with witness intimidation in connection with this case from the courtroom during the testimony of certain witnesses, before we begin, are you advancing the concerns of the DA's office or the concerns of the witnesses themselves, or both?
Both, Your Honor.
Okay, so
If I may, I'm sorry to jump in, but just if I may, I do have what I think is a pretty substantial procedural objection.
Okay.
Maybe I'd ask that you sort of just make a quick bifurcation of the issues here, and we can address the procedural issue before we get into the substance of the motion.
Sure, I'll hear you.
We could. Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, so the record is clear, because we may need an appellate record in this case.
Okay.
But I was here in the Norfolk Superior Court today, completely unrelated to Mr. Kearney, my client, as you know, in the other matters. And I was here today on the matter of Commonwealth versus Tylee Curry for a motion to suppress. And
which is a case that I am in the middle of
Right.
that motion to suppress with you.
Exactly. And I actually figured that we wouldn't do the motion and get a date. But I was fully focused on that matter and had no notice whatsoever that the Commonwealth was in the Reed matter, was seeking to exclude my client as a journalist from this courtroom. The first thing is that, and I know the court has a job to do in terms of ruling on this motion, and that's fine. And I asked that the ruling be that it be denied on procedural grounds. The procedural grounds are, Judge, that there's been no service of process whatsoever on a case where the government is seeking to essentially trample all over my client's First Amendment rights as a journalist. On 15 minutes notice. I know you gave me the thing 15 or 20 minutes ago.
And it's more than half an hour, but I understand.
All right, well, you get the point. So, this is not something that I can process and absorb and make any sort of cogent arguments on the merits of the motion on that time period. And I'm sure that the court respects that. I'm trying to address it as best I can, but I think that the procedural issues here should control. And here's the procedural situation, Your Honor, that the government filed the 6-page motion. There's a footnote 2 that refers to them serving this motion on May 8th to the Associated Press. Why they couldn't just pull up my email and serve me is an open question that I'd like an answer to in open court. So they can serve the 8th.
Yeah, they served the Associated Press with this motion 2 days before we got it. Like, what? Okay.
2 days ago, but they can wait and not even serve me with the motion when I get here to court today on a completely unrelated matter, I might add. So there's some funny business going on here, and there's been nothing but funny business from where I sit from the Commonwealth on Mr. Kearney's matters. And here we go again.
Here we go.
So
funny business.
I don't appreciate that from counsel.
I don't either.
From the Norfolk County DA's office. Number one. Number two, Your Honor.
Spicy Bradle.
Mr. Kearney has covered this case and written about 350 news articles on this case. He has developed evidentiary scoops on this case that have added to the quantum of evidence in the matter. He's never caused a problem. He wishes to be in the galley of journalists like everyone else and cover the case. There's never been a problem whatsoever. This is more personalized retaliation from the Norfolk County DA's office.
What's
in the galley of evidentiary scoops on this case.
What's Paul? Look at Paul.
Added to the quantum of evidence in the matter. He's never caused a problem.
Did you see that by Paul? Did you see Paul laugh there? He's never caused a problem. Hold on, I gotta.
News articles on this case.
Look at
he
Paul.
has developed evidentiary scoops on this case that have added to the quantum of evidence in the matter. He's never caused a problem.
Look at that. You see that?
He wishes to be in the galley of journalists like everyone else and cover the case. There's never been a problem whatsoever. This is more personalized retaliation from the Norfolk County DA's office against Mr. Kearney. Another point, Your Honor, is that this matter, as far as the Commonwealth is concerned, is res judicata ×2. Judge Krupp in this very court addressed this exact issue about Mr. Kearney covering this matter, being in the courtroom with witnesses that had a stay-away order. All the same people.
The same people.
That the government is trying to have another bite at the apple with you.
Right.
All these people. This was adjudicated fully with the special assistant DA before.
Exactly. Like a few months prior, before I went to jail, actually a couple days before, we had a Judge Krupp who hates me and will do anything to fuck me over. Didn't allow a motion to put stay-away orders in place with the witnesses. So literally a judge said, there's nothing, I can't do that. So there's no stay-away orders. Why can't I be in the courtroom?
Judge Krupp, and Judge Krupp ruled against the Commonwealth. Judge Krupp said that Mr. Kearney was able to be in the courthouse covering this case regardless of any of these witnesses in the stay-away order. The stay-away order was exempted from Mr. Kearney. Mr. Kearney's presence in the courtroom, rather, was accepted from the stay-away order.
Okay.
So this is done. This has been adjudicated. It's been adjudicated again, Your Honor, by Judge Pomeroy across the street in the district court. One of these people associated with Mr. Kearney's detractors, Ms. Gattani, has taken up with the Commonwealth and sought charges and sought a restraining order against my client. And Judge Pomerol recently, as recently, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, we were across the street, Your Honor, seeking to vacate the order under the doctrine of unclean hands because this
Look at Grant moving
keeps trying to
around.
contact my client while under restraining order.
Look at Grant. He's
Putting
so
that
mad.
aside,
He's so mad.
The ruling in that matter, Judge, was another ruling in support of Mr. Kearney's First Amendment rights.
See,
it was another ruling that said Mr. Kearney.
So Grant, people like that is Grant in the background. He's dancing because he's in love with the fake victim. And he's like, in his mind, Brado's talking about his woman right now. It's like, talk about my woman. Don't say that. I will fight for her honor. Yes, she's a stupid whore that fucking, it's like the craziest bitch ever. But I will fight. Don't you dare disparage the fake victim in this courtroom, Mr. Brado. He's losing his mind over it. He's like, in my mind, I'm gonna go home and vigorously masturbate to her later. And then one day she'll realize that she actually wants to fuck me because I'm a really nice guy. Yeah, that's how he thinks it's gonna go.
He was not subject to the restraining order in any court of the Commonwealth. And the reason we brought that motion, Your Honor, was because these same witnesses that the government here is again trying to advocate for their own personal issues, those same witnesses somehow took up with this plaintiff across the street, Ms. Gattani, brought her to court here in prior Reed proceedings to kick out Mr. Kearney, because at the time she had an operative order against him. And Mr. Kearney, to his credit, got up and left and got out of here. And that situation was what we addressed across the street with Judge Pomerol. He agreed with us and said, you can go to court, you can cover this case. So litigation number two, this has been established. Mr. Kearney followed all proper channels. We worked with the SJC media office. He has a press pass. He's doing everything in accordance with all of the rules and regulations that are in place. He's been harassed, and we have it on video, by other so-called journalists on this case at the steps of the courthouse. And he just wants to be here. He doesn't want to be an issue in this case. He wants to sit here and cover the case. He's done his job. He wants to watch the trial unfold. And he has an absolute fundamental First Amendment right to do so within the confines of this courtroom and within the confines of time, place, and manner restrictions. He's followed everything, and he's here. We've gone through all of these hurdles, Your Honor, and Mr. Kearney triumphed, as he should, because it's the First Amendment that needs to triumph here, not any particular person. And that's what he's doing. And there's absolutely no reason for the government to sneak behind my back to interfere with his First Amendment rights. It's outrageous.
Yes.
And on procedural grounds, I ask you to deny the motion for all of those
He did.
reasons.
He did.
And if the court
He just whipped
has
us
some
together.
hesitancy to do so,
This
with
is
respect
all-
to these procedural
this is
issues,
all off
I
the
ask
cuff.
that you set a date give me 7 days or so that I can properly respond to this motion on the merits of whatever's in these 6 pages of the motion that I haven't been able to look at. So thank you for hearing me, Your Honor.
All right, sure. And you wanted a response to your question from Mr. Lally on why you were not
award-winning
served with the
journalist.
Associated Press was served.
That's correct.
So if you talk about that.
Fuck the whole trial. Like this was the biggest pickup I ever had that day in subs and Twitter followers. It's like, whoa, what's going on here? We're all watching this trial. Who the fuck? Tell us about this. It was free advertising. That's all this was.
And the procedural part of this, Mr. Lally?
Yes, Your Honor. Simply put, Mr. Bradle, neither Mr. Bradle nor Mr. Kearney are parties to the case.
Kearney.
I can't presume that Mr. Bradle's representation on one criminal case is going to extend to a motion of which he would be at best a third party on a separate criminal case. We are required under the SJC rules to serve it upon the Associated Press, which we did.
Okay. So I think that's your record now, Mr. Bradle.
Thank you.
Okay, on the procedural issue. Okay. We have a jury out. I do want to address the merits of this as best we can. And Mr. Bradle, at the end of this hearing, whatever I end up
this is
doing,
how I found you. There we
if
go.
you want to
There's
come
an
back
example.
and readdress it when there's more time, depending on how I rule, I'll give you the opportunity to do so. But I have to get this trial moving at this point, one way or the other. So I'm going to hear the Commonwealth on their motion. Then I'll hear you, Mr. Bradle, to the extent that you can respond. Okay. All right, Mr. Lally, I'll hear you on your motion.
Your Honor, very shortly, very simply put, this is an instance in which the Commonwealth is not asking that Mr. Kearney not be allowed to cover the
that
case
was
or
another
that he not
good
be
egg.
allowed to watch the trial.
Turtleboy did.
What we're requesting is a partial closure of one individual. And the legal standard for that is essentially a substantial reason. Substantial reason, Your Honor, being that Mr. Kearney has been indicted and has open cases for intimidating witnesses, specifically witnesses in this case.
Oh, please.
He has confirmed statements indicating publicly that his actions that he's taken in regard to those indictments were to prevent the case from ever going to trial and to
That's not true.
intimidate those witnesses.
That is
Those-
just untrue. That he does not want this case to go to trial. I fucking love this trial. This is the most entertaining shit I've ever seen. This trial benefited me professionally in ways you can't even imagine. Why the fuck? That's just such a lie. That makes no sense. Why wouldn't I want this to go to trial?
Those witnesses will be called to testify in this case. And what the Commonwealth is simply requesting is that he be excluded physically from the courtroom, not excluded from watching the trial, not excluded from covering the trial, but excluded physically from the courtroom while those witnesses are testifying from the stand.
And the witnesses you told me have expressed.
And like, what would, Like, what if this was like a Delphi thing where cameras aren't allowed in the courtroom? Then what would happen? I mean, luckily this is well, he's like, he could still watch it. You just watch it from home. Well, what if it wasn't being broadcasted? Then what, Lally?
Concern, what do you say about that?
Yes, Your Honor. The witnesses have expressed concern. The Commonwealth is concerned as to his presence.
The witnesses have expressed concern. So because Jen McCabe and Brian Albert, bro, you are such a pussy. Why are you so scared of me, Brian? I'm not going to hurt you, little boy. Little boy, scared of little turtle boy. Turtle boy gonna hurt little boy. Don't worry, boy. Me no hurt you. I no hurt you, boy. I promise. I'll let you testify. I won't make any faces at you. No, I'll be a good boy. Pussy.
Affecting their testimony or their ability to recall. And for all of those reasons, Commonwealth would submit the administration of justice and the witnesses being able to testify, as well as the witnesses' own concerns are more than meet the test of the substantial reason for Mr. Kearney's exclusion during the course of their testimony.
Okay.
Oh, fuck yourself, Lally.
Your Honor, the witness's concern has no legal materiality.
Yes. Exactly.
So the answer that I have is, so what?
Yes, I love it. She's like, what does he say about the fact that, these witnesses are very concerned about him being there? Oh, my response to that is, so what? It doesn't matter. Be concerned. That doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter at all. That's not how the First Amendment works. Jen McCabe being concerned about something does not take away someone else's First Amendment rights.
The witness's concern, where does that fit into the law here, Your Honor? This matter has been adjudicated twice. Mr. Kearney has the right to speak on the case. He's gone through all the proper channels to be here. He is not in any way wants to or is trying to make any issue of his presence here. And he's just trying to cover the case as best he can. And this is just a personal vendetta that's been carried out by the Norfolk County DA's office against Mr. Kearney. And this is where the court needs to hold the line on the First Amendment. This witness intimidation statute, Your Honor, is an absolute abomination. It is going to be struck down. It's just a matter of time. And this is just a continuation of everything the special counsel's been doing to Mr. Kearney. And now the office itself is doing it. There's no reason for this motion to be allowed, Your Honor. There's no discomfort exception to the First Amendment, Your Honor. There's been absolutely nothing advanced, especially on an emergency basis, which is, I assume, why this is being done with no notice. There's been no establishment of any emergency. There's been no conduct whatsoever on the part of Mr. Kearney to justify this motion. And I did happen to see some reference to the Chestnut trial about published something to the effect of doxing a seated juror. That is false. Mr. Kearney wrote a story on a juror after the jury was discharged. There's absolutely no.
Yeah, they actually put that in their motion that he's going to dox jurors and shit like that because he did so in the Chestnut trial. During the Michael Chestnut mistrial, the jury list was public. Okay. The jury list was public. It was not impounded. So he just got a list of the jurors. And I didn't actually attend the Michael Chestnut trial, but one of the 12 jurors refused to deliberate. And all the other jurors were pissed because they're all like, he's guilty. He's guilty. He killed the cop in broad daylight. Everyone knows he did it. And an elderly woman. And one person was like, no, I'm not voting guilty. So I'm not doing this. Well, that's, to me, you do something like that, you deserve to be exposed because you're a piece of shit. You're disrespecting the family of Michael Chestnut, of Vera Adams, of the court. You're a horrible person, and people should know what a dirtbag you are. That should follow you around, if you do something like that. And so that's perfectly legal to do. And so they actually put that in their motion that he doxed a juror. I didn't dox a juror. The court did. They put the names out there. How did I find out which juror it was? I asked people inside the courtroom. Do you know, was it? And I looked them all up on Facebook. I'm like, does this face look familiar? No. Is this one? Oh, yep. That's her. That's the one. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Prohibition or problem or issue with that. And it is absolutely protected conduct by the First Amendment. And it is not in any way a grounds for this court or the Commonwealth to assert any wrongdoing against him.
So I can assure you I am not considering that incident in this. You all know I was the judge. I am not considering that experience in this motion.
Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Bradle? All right. So, Mr. Bradle, I agree with you that Mr. Kearney is certified by the Office of Public Information pursuant to SEC Rule 119, and that he has a right to be here today. He arrived timely, and that he is registered. I have honored that 119 registration today, and I will continue to honor that. However, my role in this case, Commonwealth versus Karen Reed, is to assure that the defendant's constitutional right to a fair trial are honored and upheld. And because of the chilling effect that Mr. Kearney's presence, I find, will have on the witness's testimony, I'm going to excuse him.
That she finds. What chilling effect would I have on the witness's testimony? You can't. They're going to be silenced because I'm in the courtroom because I'm so fucking scary. I mean, are we living in the real world here? Me. You're scared of me. I just sat through Julie Albert's testimony. She said bukkake. Okay. And that's all this was. This is 45 minutes after Julie Albert just said on national television twice, bukkake. Okay. And everyone in the courtroom heard it, and everyone looked at me, and everyone immediately knew she said bukkake because you're here. Okay. Because she's looking at you. She sees you, and your Turtleboy, her worst nightmare, right? You have, she actually wrote in a text message to John O'Keefe in 2021 saying, my biggest fear, my biggest nightmare is being featured on Turtleboy. Because she was a Turtleboy fan, and she actually put that in a text to John O'Keefe, which was found in Discovery, and I published that text message that she said that. Okay. And so she knows Turtleboy. She did not want to be featured on Turtleboy. Now she's on Turtleboy all the time. And she's sitting in court and she says bukkake twice. Okay. Which means that she watches my show all the time because his name is actually Buchanan, and I have named him bukkake. That's my name. That's a Turtleboy name. Like, that's like if she got up there and was like, Colin Albert is my crotch fruit. Like, but she must be watching Turtleboy, right? Bukkake twice, not once. She corrected herself. She said bukkake and then said, no, it's actually bukkake. Bukkake. Oh my God. Oh my God. This was the best day. This was the best day. Bukkake. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe that happened. But that's the real reason why I'm banned, is because if I wasn't in court that day, she would have said Buchanan. She would not. I believe that to my core, that she would not have said bukkake if my face wasn't sitting looking all dapper up in the press box, looking at her. You know, she looks at me. She's just like bukkake, bukkake. She sees my face. The first thing she thinks is bukkake, bukkake. It's just she can't get it out of her head. That's why I'm there. If I was in the courtroom for Jennifer McCabe and Brian Albert, they would have fucked shit. Like, there would have been no chilling effect, but it would have been like the truthful effect. You know, like they would have said something fucked up just because they would have been distracted by me. And it's like, I'm in their head, you know, because they're liars. And they're like, this guy right there knows I'm full of shit. That guy has been on me since day one. That guy has been calling out all my lies, exposing me. He knows I'm at frickin' Elizabeth Proctor's house. He knows I'm doing all this shit. That motherfucker there is like, oh, I can't think when he's here, you know, like he's fucking on to me, you know? And when I lie on the stand, which I plan to do a lot, like every single one of them went into this case being like, when they said, do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yeah. Knowing full well, no, I am going to lie a lot. I am going to sit up here and pretty much everything I say is going to be a lie. All of it. It's all going to be a fucking lie because my family murdered John O'Keefe. And if I tell the truth, then my family's going to go to jail. And then I don't want that. I'd rather have this woman making the mean faces. She can go to jail. Fuck her. Right. But that requires me to lie. And I can't look at Turtleboy's face when I'm doing this because I just know that like that motherfucker knows I'm lying and it's just too distracting. Like when they look at Sue O'Connell and, you know, you got Gretchen Voss, Grant, you know, they look them up there and they're like, well, they might think I'm telling the truth. I don't think they all do, but they might think I'm telling the truth. They look at me and they're like, he knows I'm bullshit. And they just can't think. That's the reason I'm not allowed in the courtroom. And so she kicks my ass out.
While the named witnesses in the Commonwealth's motion, Julie Nagel, Christopher Albert, Colin Albert, Michael Proctor, Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, Brian Albert, and Yuri Buchanek. And the Commonwealth also today requested Nicole Albert because of the incidents.
I'm not even charged
that
with her.
reportedly have been held.
And Brian, and they had Brian Albert Jr.
during all of that testimony. Now, in my media order, if you have it, I'm sure your client has it because they're handed out to the press. Under number 1, I say that anyone leaving the courtroom to the media during the trial proceedings may lose their seat and may not be permitted re-entry unless there is available seating. That will not happen to Mr. Kearney.
I get to keep
I will
my
not
seat.
take away his seat today for other witnesses who are not subject to this order.
Thank
That
you.
seat
You're
will
so
remain empty.
generous.
No other person of the media will be able to take that seat
Turtleboy
in his
seat.
absence.
Oh, thank
Okay?
you.
Your Honor, one last thing, if I may, just came to me as I was standing here. Extension in the same regard as to Nicole Albert for the address would be Brian Albert Jr.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Son of Brian and Nicole Albert live in the same address.
It's for the same reason. So Brian Albert Jr.
Yeah, so the gay autistic ogre that nobody suspect, the 6'7" guy who lives there that somehow no one suspected killed John O'Keefe. He's scared of me too. Auntie JJ. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. So I'm banned. This was the big Turtleboy day in court. So all right, cool. And we get to do that all over again. Now it's going to be Spanky this time around. Like it's going to be like Lally does it boring, Lally's just like, Your Honor, he's the witnesses can't concentrate, and it's an ongoing legal proceeding. He's being charged with witness intimidation against all of the witnesses. So we respectfully ask this court to please. We are not trying to take his First Amendment rights away. We are allowing him to continue to watch the trial. He is allowed to watch the trial from a different space. However, we would like this trial to proceed, and we would like the witnesses to be able to concentrate. And it's very hard to do them up here, Your Honor. The last witness, for crying out loud, just said bukkake twice, Your Honor. Obviously, that's a problem. There's a lot of people watching this. Bukkake is actually a term for when several men line up in a row and ejaculate on a woman's face, often consecutively, but sometimes intermittently. Either way, Your Honor, the woman's face comes out looking like a glazed donut, and it's just really bad, Your Honor. So it's, this is supposed to be a murder trial. We can't have bukkake in a courtroom. It's a real problem, Your Honor. So he gave his whole speech there. Now think of how different Spanky's going to do it. Like Spanky's going to have to get up there and give us a similar version of the speech. But he's going to have to do it in his nerd voice. He's going to take the podium because he's more about the flair and the dramatic, and he's going to get up there with this. Your Honor, this man over here is being charged with all sorts of witness intimidation. And on my way into court, Your Honor, he makes jokes and he asks me what Adam Lally packed for my lunch today, Your Honor. I packed my own lunch, God damn it. Mr. Lally, that is insulting to Mr. Lally. Mr. Lally doesn't pack my lunch. He shines my shoes, Your Honor. Excuse me. This court is offended by this. And this gentleman should not be allowed here. This gentleman has no purpose here. This gentleman has not done any peer-reviewed articles, Your Honor. He hasn't done any of that. Is he even a journalist? Is he even credentialed? I say no. I dispute this to you, Your Honor. And I would say that not only should he be banned, just for when the McAlberts come up here, Your Honor, he should be banned from all testimony. Because I am also a victim of him. He made jokes about me on his show, Your Honor. It's very, very hurtful. He called me a nerd, Your Honor. He calls me Spanky. Spanky, Your Honor. I'm a highly affected mob lawyer. I demand respect in this courtroom, and I can't do my job as long as he's here. So it's going to be a lot more entertaining this time around, I think. I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining this time around, and I'm looking forward to getting kicked out. I'm going to get kicked out again in a couple months. We're going to do this all over again, except this time they're going to kick my ass out, and I'm going to be sitting right next to my attorney in the Karen Reed seat. That's the Karen Reed seat. I'm going to sit in Karen's seat. Whatever her seat is, I'm sitting in it. And I'm going to keep it warm for her. It's going to be dope. It's going to be fucking awesome. Kick me out again. Let's go. And I think I should wear like a shirt. They wouldn't let me wear the mellow shirts to go with. Maybe I can wear the How Long to Die in Cold shirt. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, he can bring his harmonica. Your Honor, I'm in a little jazz band here, a little blues band. I'm a little edgy. Sometimes my wife lets me have fun sometimes on the weekends. She lets me have hobbies. and I play a mean blues harmonica, Your Honor, and I practice with the boys every other Wednesday night, and we do a little show down the VFW, Your Honor. We're kind of a big deal in the Natick area. You may have heard of us. No, you haven't? Well, either way, Your Honor. Maybe I can demonstrate for you. Would you like me to serenade you? Is there any songs you'd like to hear, Your Honor? I'm a bootleg Bob Dylan. That's what he called me, a bootleg Bob Dylan, Your Honor. A bootleg Bob Dylan. Huh. So insulting, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Yeah, might as well play the kazoo or a recorder or some shit. All right. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Okay, cool. Did I miss another one here? Another turtle chat. Okay, Peter sends $25 and goes, "Good day, Dr. Turtle. Can you recommend any killer pizzas at D&E Pizza when visiting Canton? Google reviews are not very good. Cheers, Peter down under." Well, first of all, if you go there and you order something, don't wear a free can reach shirt because he does not want your money. That's one thing I found out when he testified against me at the grand jury. He's like that multiple people came into his establishment and tried to buy pizzas from him, and he kicked them out because they were in free can reach shit. It's like, and then he blamed me and he said, I'm causing him economic harm. Bro, you just admitted in court under oath that you kick people out who want to give you money for food, and you're blaming me for your problems. So whatever you do, first of all, I wouldn't eat it. I'm not saying there's literally blood in the pizza, even though I held a sign outside that said blood pizza. That was satirical. I have no evidence at all that there's actually blood in the pizza. I think it's marinara sauce. I could be wrong. I think it's, it's probably really cheap government marinara sauce because he's cutting corners because he never paid the pepperoni man. He still hasn't paid the pepperoni man. But I wouldn't recommend it. That's just all. Don't get the chicken parm, whatever you do. You will regret it. That I can guarantee you. Okay. Lacey sends $10 and goes, "Aidan, I'm sorry for all the horrific, distasteful, and hateful tweets I've seen directed towards you and your late mom this week. As I told my followers, we have to allow their shit to flow, not only to let them realize they are the assholes, but to give us the motivation during the difficult times. Trump and Ohio State tomorrow." You paid me money. I got to say it. Trump and Ohio State tomorrow. Trump and Notre Dame. But okay. Trump and Ohio State tomorrow. Let's fucking go. America and Turtle Riders. Well, thank you very much, Lacey. So yeah, let's just end the show here by talking about this a little bit. Let me, because again, I don't want to turn this into a drama channel too much, but I've been tweeting about it a lot, and I did this on Turtle Club the other night. But I also wrote an article on it. And it's actually pinned to the top here, just about, because I'm being charged with felony witness intimidation against the fake victim. And like, what was the intimidating part? Like, this is what Novak said. Like, this is what, because Mello was not there that day. Do I have audio of it? I think I have audio of it somewhere. If not, it's in the blog. I know I have it in the blog. Hold on. Check this out. This is the day I was let out of jail, and Grant said that I was going to be kept in jail. I wasn't. I got out. And because I was arraigned on 2 other charges on this day for felony witness intimidation and wiretapping against the fake victim for the incident on the 23rd in which she held me hostage in her house and threatened to kill her 4 kids.
For a little bit of the background of the intimidation, the new intimidation of a witness case, Your Honor. This occurred on December 23rd of 2023 at the apartment of the alleged victim, who was Lindsay Gittani, when the defendant came over knowing and for the purpose, because she had received a summons to appear before the grand jury. When he appeared at her apartment, he told her in no uncertain terms that when she went to the grand jury, she was going to tell them that she knew nothing.
That never happened. So according to them, I'm being indicted. I couldn't believe I wasn't even paying attention to anything he was saying at the time because I was so excited to be getting out of jail that I just didn't give a fuck. Like when Tim Bradle came in there and told me that I was having 2 more indictments, I'm like, okay, add them to the pile. I get out, right? I'm getting out today, right? Okay, good. Problem solved. So I'm out. Because they might try to add some bail to you. Okay, fine, whatever. I could pay that. I'll get out. I'm getting out today, right? Okay, cool. And so he's like that. He went over there. Like, listen to this fake allegation that he says. This is all fake.
In no uncertain terms,
he said
that when she went to the grand jury, she was going to tell them that she knew nothing.
So that he's alleging that I told her that when you go to the grand jury, you are to tell them you know nothing. This is the charge. That never happened. Nothing like that happened. That's completely fake. And this is what I'm being indicted for.
About the case. He further told her that he wanted to take her phone and go through it to look for and to erase any particular contacts and data that she might have regarding the matter.
Regarding the matter. That also never happened. Nowhere do I ever say you need to delete those messages at all. First of all, we got her phone. So like we got everything in the phone anyway. We're all entitled to it. Deleting it, what would that do? That doesn't make any sense. That never happened.
Okay. He threatened her.
And by the way, like if I did those things, if I actually said you need to delete all this evidence and here's what you need to tell the grand jury, I agree. That would be witness intimidation. That's what the law is meant to do. However, none of that actually happened. And he goes, this is what I threatened her with.
In saying that if she didn't cooperate, he would destroy her in front of her kids by publishing old probate court records that he had acquired.
So the threat was not like, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to destroy you, whatever that means. Like, what does destroy mean? I'm just going to get destroyed and you blow up into a million pieces. I'm going to destroy her by doing what? By publishing public court documents that are embarrassing to her. And somehow this involves her children. What? That doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. And we'll talk about that one more. I'll be right back. Hold on. I take a leak real quick. Then we're almost done. All right, we're back. All right. So anyway, they didn't want me. So this is like the fakest witness. Oh wait, this is all. Hold on. All right, I think we're good there. So this is like the fakest witness intimidation charge. With the McAlberts, all the witness intimidation charges are like shit that's on video. You know, you can prove I said these things. This is just none of this happened. None of this happened. And it's not a threat if you say you're going to post public probate court documents. Now, I have not, you know, when the restraining order was in place, she made sure to get a provision in there saying I can't publish her public court record. It said I can't publish her private court documents, whatever that means. Okay. And then when I was in jail, she got them impounded. And so she's like, they're private. It's like, but anyone, so basically anyone, it's gray area, whether or not I'm allowed to publish them with the order in place. And we didn't want to take any chance. It just wasn't worth it. You know, other people, Jess Machado and other people published them. Haley Walbrook published them because anyone could get them. And I'm the only one that wasn't allowed to publish them. Now the order is gone. And so I will fucking share them now because this is a free country and you are allowed to do that. Okay. And let's see why they didn't want this coming out. Why didn't they want this coming out? Let's see. All right. So this is an affidavit written by her mother, Kathleen Gattani. And I got it on mass courts. Anyone can get this. And when she found out that these were public record, she lost her mind. And then she's just like, so she wanted to prevent me from being able to talk about this. Okay. So, I mean, this is a heartbreaking letter. You know, it says, we are the grandparents of these kids. And my husband and I are filing for grandparents' rights to be able to have visits with them, which don't exist in this state. It's been a long road for our families with our daughter, Lindsay Gattani, as she has issues with substance abuse, heroin, and other drugs off and on since college. We found out she was pregnant in 2011 and supported her through her addiction, trying to get her into rehabs. She would go and leave and then fall back with the drugs. Once the other one was born, they lived with us in Norwood for a while until an incident happened in 2012. We were watching the Bruins playoffs and excited when they won. Lindsay was trying to sleep, aka she was high, and she woke up in a rage that woke up the kid. My husband tried to calm her down, and when grabbing her phone, she called the police and said my husband hit her. My husband was arrested and Lindsay took the kid and left. The next day, she came to get her things as she filed a restraining order, which she later dropped and said she wasn't pressing charges because nothing happened. Again, it was too late. We spent money on a lawyer and it was dropped, but it still costs on the Corey form. It still lists on the Corey, and we found out that she was using that night. We found a spoon in her room and knew that she was doing this with her son there. So she's sharing a room with the kid who was a baby at the time, and she's getting high in the room. Okay. So this is why she didn't want this coming out, because if this comes out, then immediately, like, you guys knew nothing about this person's past or who she was or really her present. And if the truth came out, if I couldn't tell the truth because this order prevents me from publishing the truth, then she'll have more credibility. She loses credibility the more you find out about who she is. Okay. About a month later, she came back and needed us to help with the kid. So after getting the dad arrested, falsely arrested, okay, she runs away and then comes back a month later because she's broke. Okay. But we told her she needed to get back to rehab. She went for a while and things would be fine, and then it would happen again. One of the times she had her son in the car and she fell asleep at the wheel, and the police called my husband to come get the son. Well, they took her to the hospital. She was notified and we were given temporary custody. So she is driving around high with the kid in the car and then falls asleep behind the wheel of the car. I don't know who she thinks she is, Michael Morrissey. But you can't do that unless you're the DA of Norfolk County. Okay. Again, she went back into rehab and then came back to live with us for a while until she decided she wanted to move with blank after DCF relinquished custody back to her. Okay. All right. So she got the kid back. Okay. We got them set up in an apartment on Veterans Road in Dedham. She seemed to be good. They would come over every night for dinner and on the weekends. That's nice. My husband would help bring the son to daycare and pick him up afterwards. It got to be a routine with him and his grandpa, as their father was rarely in the picture. We would take him to soccer practice and his games, and also basketball, which seems to be his favorite. So the father of this one is Sean Kelly, and she had Sean Kelly arrested in 2018. It was his turn. Okay. And she's still on good terms with him. I believe. I don't really care, but it's just everybody who's ever had a relationship will get arrested for assault and battery. He got the same thing, assault and battery. Dad got it. Sean Kelly got it. Frank Egan got it a bunch of times. I got it. Nick Bonifilio got it. We all got one. That's like, you can't have any sort of relationship with her, and that includes a family relationship, without getting arrested for assault and battery. It's such a coincidence that this poor innocent victim just is constantly, every male in her life hits her. It's so weird. There's never any evidence of it, but she says it happens. Okay. But don't worry, Grant, you're different. I promise. Yeah. We would take him to soccer practice and basketball, which seems to be his favorite. Lindsay has been in an abusive relationship, which worried us. I don't think she has. She was dating Frankie, who is, got a criminal past, obviously. But according to his own family, who I've spoken to, like, my dad's a lot of things. He's a piece of shit, but he would never hit a woman. Like, that's not who he is. And says, that she was in an abusive relationship and it worried us. She got involved with Frank Egan and another son in 2018. We moved to Norwood then, as the Dedham house was sold. She was over every night with the son, and we would go swimming in the pool, and my husband would take him to play basketball down the park. So that's nice. She has a nice family core here. Okay. She's one of 5 kids, and the others are all fine. And she's just the fucked up one, but my heart breaks for the parents, because that's your daughter. You love them unconditionally, like, no matter what. All right. And, I got the mother's phone number off these probate court documents on December 21st. And I messaged her because I was all worried about what she was going to do to me. I'm like, I was worried. And I'm like, if she was dangerous, has she ever done this before with the fake baby? I was curious. And the mother wrote, I texted her and she didn't write back. I texted her again and I'm like, it's about Lindsay. And then she goes, basically, like, is she alive? Like that, like, she just sits around, like, she's just waiting for that call. You know what I mean? When you have a kid that's like really fucked up, and you're just like, eventually you're like, well, I can't, you got to let them go. You can't, it's addiction. It's like ask anybody who's got a kid down at Mass and Cass. It's an addiction, and you just worry about, like, that call, that they're going to get one day. So I felt for the parents, and I felt even more when I read this whole thing. I mean, this is horrible. Kids deserve to know their grandparents. Grandparents are a major part of your life. I'm sorry, they are. They're like the people that spoil you. Like, it's a great thing to have grandparents. It's a great thing to have cousins. It's a great thing to have aunties and uncles, right? It's a great thing. And people are lucky to have that. And her kids don't know that they have aunties and uncles, and they don't know that they have grandparents because they're not allowed to meet them. The older ones have, and they're probably like, where the fuck are they? Remember them? Oh yeah. But so this is in 2020, she's applying for this. And like, this gets crazier. So in March 19, we received a call from DCF that they needed us to take the boys. We weren't sure what happened, but figured she must have used again. We took the kids in and had them on a schedule. At first, one was giving us a hard time, swearing and throwing things. If your kid is, so that's obviously not the baby at the time. That's the 6, 7-year-old, however old is then. If you're swearing and throwing things like that at that age, that's learned behavior. You're acting like that because that's what you see. It's not the kid's fault, obviously. And again, she doesn't want this getting out because it reflects poorly on her. That's what it does. Okay. We reached out and got help for him to speak with a therapist. After a few times, he stopped swearing and temper tantrums ended. He got adjusted to living with us and he had fun too. My husband would drive him to school every day and pick him up after and go play basketball and get snacks at the corner store. This is so nice. Like, this is so heartwarming. You're like, thank God for family. You know, your one kid's a fuck up, but at least you have a good support network at the house that is, you know, willing to help out your daughter and rate, because they're your family too. God damn it. Those are your grandkids and you care about them and you're not going to let them. And that's a great thing. I was like, when I read this, I'm like, that my heart broke for them. I'm like, they're talking about the dad every day going and playing basketball with the kids. This is so nice. No, this was not in her phone, man. This is on fucking Mass Courts. I go online and you go on in. This is a public document. There's one on Mass Courts and I found this shit. That's it. It's wholesome, Janelle. That's what it is. This is wholesome. Like, I loved the relationship that my mother had with my kids. That was one of the sweetest things. Like, watching the relationship that my mother had with my kids. I loved watching it, you know? And like, it was just the way that she loved them. Like, and she treated them differently than she treated us, her kids. She wasn't, it's just fun. It's fun with grandma. You know what I mean? And it's just like, so I don't know, there's just something special about a relationship between the grandparents and the grandkids. And like, I'm getting that vibe from reading this, you know, and it's nice. It's real nice. And so then I see this and it's like, okay, they would play PlayStation. It just play sports. It's so nice with his uncles and grandfather. Awesome. In September 2019, it got to be too much with the baby, the toddler at the time. And we asked DCF to see if they could find a couple around us in Norwood. This was the hardest decision we ever had to make. Luckily, they did find a great young couple. They would bring them over and visit and came over on the holidays. We never imagined that we would ever have to do this. So the mom actually like got a broken leg or she had some injury, and it was really hard for her to take care of two kids that were not her own. And so a foster family down the street would, you know, basically took the kid in for a bit and would still bring the kid over for visitation and all that stuff. Right. In March of 2020. Now, this is the most fucked up shit. When the epidemic happened, I think she meant to say pandemic, I got sick and was sent home from work. So COVID comes and she gets sick. And back then, if you were sick, everyone just assumed you had coronavirus. And this is back when people were actually scared of coronavirus. I informed DCF. I informed DCF and they said that they were going to let the kid stay with his mother. So she got the fake victim, lost her kids, and then she got them back because of coronavirus. Like COVID benefited the worst fucking people. Like it did. And she's one of them apparently, because she got, like, the mother caught a cold and they're like, oh shit, you have coronavirus. You can't be anywhere near kids, even though kids don't fucking die from this shit, but you can't be around kids. And so we're going to give you back to your mother who lost custody of them because it's better than the alternative, because she might have coronavirus. We don't fucking know, but we're just assuming she does. Like, that is insane. I never had COVID, as it turns out. So it was all for the thing. Like, she lost the kid because she thought she got sick, and they were like, oh shit, do you have COVID? No, you can't have a kid anymore. I never had COVID. and I got better. But the blank was never given back to us. It has been since March, and we feel like we lost someone in our family, and we miss them so much. Like, that's the part that got to me. We miss them so much. It gets sadder. I drove down there soon after, and I saw them walking, and I tried to talk to her, but she said in front of the son that we didn't want him and kept walking. Says in front of that's your grandmother. She doesn't want you. She put you in a foster home for fucking few months. She doesn't want you. Imagine saying that in front of your kids, how damaging that is. That was the worst thing that she could have said in front of him, as we love him so much. We have tried contacting our daughter with no response. We brought our son we brought the grandson a new cell phone so he could call us. And the phone has restrictions, so he can't accept our calls. His birthday was in July, and we brought presents down and a Cam Newton shirt for him. But they wouldn't answer the door. I saw the blinds move, but no answer. I left the presents under the door, between the door, and I left. We have taken care of him or helped his whole life. And now, just to have us not have any contact is heart-wrenching. We hope the courts will help get us visitation with the boys, or at least let them know that we love them and want to see them. That broke my heart. That's what I'm saying. I read that. I'm like, evil to your own parents who you got locked up previously, who took care of your kids when you chose drugs over your own fucking kids. And then your parents stepped up because they love you unconditionally and raised those fucking kids. And then COVID happens. You get them back for some free COVID thing. And then you're like, you don't allow them. And to this day, she does not. They don't know. The three youngest don't even know that fucking grandma and grandpa exist at all. Does she want? And I would she'd always tell me, my mom is a monster, and I don't talk to her, and blah blah. And I'm like, that's sad. I didn't really care. I didn't really know. I didn't really want to get to, you know what I mean. I don't really want to get to know her that well, to be honest with you. But like, it's sad. It sucks. I don't really care at all. But as it turns out, like, that's just evil to do that if you can do that to your own grandparent, your own parents, get them locked up. Think of what you could do to somebody like me. Think I'd not give a fuck. It's just evil. And she would always tell me, and in the messages that I published, so she has alleged that I've threatened to release the probate court documents. That's not what happened at all. She's like, he showed me the probate court documents as a threat. No. If you look in the actual article that I publish here, and this is why I wanted to publish this article. Okay. I wanted to publish this article because I wanted the truth to come out. Okay. And the whole probate court doc thing. Sorry, there's a lot of screenshots. Pregnancy, there's a lot. Yeah, here it is. She goes, she would always say stuff like, I have no family. You're saying hurtful things and I'm going to kill myself. You're trying to get me to kill myself. No, definitely not. I'm alone. I have no family. That's the one. I have no family. And I'm alone with 4 kids. Well, that's a lie. You do have family. And that's why I said, first of all, I don't want you to kill yourself, but it's time to come clean about being pregnant. The jig is up. And I go, but you do have family. Your parents live close by. No, why would I lie? Oh, God, why would she lie? I don't know. I haven't spoken to my family in 5 years. You know nothing about me. And it's like, au contraire. I do know something about you because I know more than you'd imagine. Not the important stuff. What's that supposed to mean? I go, probate court documents are public. You do have family close. And then she goes, everything I said was like, that sounds like a threat. No, it's just me saying you're actually wrong. You're lying. I caught you in a lie. You said you had no family. And I was able to prove that's a lie by showing court documents. You're just mad that I figured that out. You're just mad that I figured out that you're a liar, that you're bullshit. That's not a threat. Now, she has framed this to the court, and this is what the Commonwealth is alleging, is that he was using the threat of posting her probate court documents to hurt her and destroy her. Well, first of all, she destroyed herself. And secondly, that is not what I was doing. I was showing her the probate court documents to show her that, no, you're lying about your family. They're actually right down the street and begging to be part of your life and your children's life. You're not alone. She would always do that. Like, I'm alone with the kids and you're just going to leave me here alone with the kids. You got fucking family 15 minutes from here that you're intentionally not allowing in your fucking life. That's not my fault. Like, she would use this fucking fake baby to keep me around. Like, cause you need me. I'm Bob alone. I'm all alone. My last boyfriend's in jail for beating the fuck out of me. I just can't catch a break. Everybody in my life is fucking evil and demented, and little old me, I'm the nicest fucking person. Oh my God, what a scam. What a fucking scam. And these kids, you know, she has 4 healthy children in her family. They should be filling every void. Exactly. Like on Thanksgiving, she messaged me and was like, you didn't fucking message me at all. Yeah, because I'm with my real family. You understand that? And she would always be like, you don't care about the baby. You only care about your kids. I'm like, yeah, because my kids are real and Clay Kearney's fake. Okay? That's why I care about my real kids. And they were planned. You know what I mean? It's like, I wanted them. The Clay Kearney's not real. He's a fucking figment of your imagination. He is what he is. Like, it's just somehow Clay Kearney was created out of thin air. There's no fucking baby. Okay. No, I don't give a fuck about the fake baby at all. I do. I'm sad about him now. But at the time, I didn't really care about the fake baby. So no, but I did care. Like, even in my messages, you see that, like, that Krusty published today. It's like, you know, it's wild. I care about my driveway, but not Clay Kearney. He can go fuck himself. Anyway, it's like, so this whole thing about sounds like you're trying to threaten me with my probate court document. No, that's quite a leap. I would never do that. I'm not here to judge you. Like, I am just calm, cool, and collected. She is credit to me. Okay. I dealt with the craziest person on earth and I kept my cool at all times. And you heard that in the tapes. And you saw that in the messages. I never feed into this shit because I know you cannot win a fight with a crazy person. And she, you know, Frankie probably went at it with her sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, they thrive off of that shit. They thrive off of it when you go at it with them back and forth. That is not happening with me. When she told me that she was like, obvious, I didn't want it. It wasn't going to last that long anyway. I realized that. And I'm like, well, let's have a good time while I'm here. You know, like that's the way I looked at it. That was a mistake, obviously. But then that's when the fake baby came along. Once the fake baby came along, it's like, well, now you can't leave. You're stuck. You're like, what are you going to do about this fake baby? What are you going to do about Clay Kearney? And I'm like, well, and you saw it in the messages. Go read. I put all the tweets out there. I want it all out there. I don't give a fuck how embarrassing this is. It's all going to come out there anyway, and it needs to be told. Okay. And, you know, with the messages, I'm like, when she tells me about it, I'm like, very clear. Like, I support you. I'm not leaving you. And I wasn't, because I thought she was pregnant with my child. And I'm just not that guy who's just going to be like, well, see, I'm not in the NFL. I can't just impregnate random women and just wipe my hands clean of it. I can't do it. And I'm also worried because this is not a good home. With this one, of all the women that you could have knocked up, it's like Clay Kearney is not going to share a closet with the closet baby. It's not going to happen. Clay Kearney deserves his own room. So I'm like, well, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have this life, you have 2 awesome kids, and you have a nice life, and it is what it is. And then all of a sudden Clay Kearney comes around, and you're like, well, my life just got a lot more interesting, destroyed, I would say. And I'm going to have to break the news to everyone, which is the least of my concerns, quite frankly, is the shame of it all. Like, that would have been, the people would have got over that. But it was more like, Clay Kearney is not living in a closet. Like, with this crazy person, this cannot happen. Like, that's the part I was really worried about, was how young Clay was going to have to grow up. And I'm like, okay, so we need a plan here. And I'm like, I'm going to be bonded to this person, not just with Clay. I mean, I would have Clay for life, but I would be bonded to fake victim for 20 years. And she says that to me. We got another tape of her that she consented to. She knew she was being taped, in which she literally says that you're going to have to deal with my son. If you don't come back here tonight to abort this fucking baby, then you're going to have to deal with my psycho ass for the next fucking 18 years. Okay. Yeah, all right. Bye. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know when Clay gets here. Then we'll talk. We'll talk then. Because I realized the jig was up by December 9th. You know, it had been a month of the fake. Like, if you're going to do the fake baby thing, right? You can't do a fake abortion to go along with it. Because then you're like, okay, you start to question everything, you know? And the fake abortion happened. She did 2 fake abortions. There was the November 27th fake abortion. And then in which she sent me randomly, she just sends me a picture of she's like, I'm at a clinic and you're making me do this. Whoa, 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 whoa. I get her on the phone, and at no point do I say, like, you better fucking do this. None of that happens at all. You have to understand, I was conflicted by this. Because I'm not comfortable with abortion. I'm just not. Like, it would just haunt me. It would haunt me for the rest of my life. And even I confided in some people about this, and I'm like, I was fucked up from it. Cause I'm like, I'm a Catholic. All right. And that would haunt me forever if that happened, but at the same time, I get why other people in that situations choose this. I get it. You know what I mean? It's like, because you're like, oh, what the fuck, this is like, what? So it's the hardest decision ever. It was eye-opening, to be involved in this. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, well, if she gets an abortion, I'm going to be like, obviously that my life gets easier if that happens. Right. But at the same time, I'm going to be all fucked up from this. Cause I'm like, I'm always going to be thinking about Clay. You know what I mean? You're all like, you're Clay fucking, what if why didn't I fight harder for Clay? I could have been like, we could have put Clay up for adoption. It would just fucked with my head. And that was the whole point, this whole shit. And that's the other thing I should have said. I should have just told her that's impossible. I got a vasectomy. I should just, because she didn't fucking know. She didn't know. How does she know I didn't get a vasectomy? So I could have been like, you're full of shit. I got a vasectomy. So Clay's fake. That's what I should have done. But instead, I just didn't think anyone would. I've never met somebody that would lie about this. Like while I'm already going through all this other shit. Like, I just got arrested October 11th. I'm going through so much shit right now with this. I'm busy and then you're just going to dump fucking a fake baby on me? That's fucked up to do. Really fucked up. And then there was the fake abortion on the 27th with the picture that had metadata on it from December 7th, 2021. The second abortion she had. And then she's sending me all this literature, pro-life literature, telling me about, oh, I'm so against this. Look what happens. Look what you're making me do. Whoa, 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 whoa. No one's making anyone do anything here. Whoa, simmer down. Okay. She just wanted me to be this person that's making her abort Clay. Okay. She's making me try to so that way she can just be mad at me. See, I'm pro-life and I'm wicked against abortion, and you're making me get rid of Clay here because you want to be you're a piece of shit. It was just another way that she could control me by degrading me. That's all it was the baby was just a way that she could just use that baby. And I talked to a lot of people about this at the time. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Holy fuck. What's going to happen? And as time went on, more and more women, especially I talked to about this, were like, Jen Altman was one of them. Karen Reed was another one. I told the consensus was that baby ain't real. Clay is not, especially after the fake abortion on the 27th, in which she said she was at the clinic. And then I sat at Panera Bread for 6 hours that day. Cause I'm like, well, she's like, I can't go through with this. I'm like, I didn't even know where you were. I didn't even know you were there. What? And I'm like, okay, I'll come. You sound like you're in distress. I'll come get you. I'll come pick you up there. It's going to be okay. And you don't have to go through with this. Young Clay, we can figure out something for young Clay. We'll do something. Laura also told me it was not real. Every woman I talked to was like, it ain't real. Clay is not real. Okay. Clay is a figment of your imagination. He's made of clay. And so I'm like, okay, well, so I sat at Panera Bread for like 6 hours and I'm like, are you alive? Like, you can go read my text or on Twitter. I'm like, you okay? Do you need anything? Blah, blah, blah. And then she just ghosts me the entire night. And I went to bed that night on the 27th of November being like, is Clay alive? Am I going to be a daddy or not? Like, am I a father of 3 now? Do I have a closet baby of my own? What is that's a weird feeling, not knowing do you have a baby out there? So then I have court the next day on the 28th. And I go to court in Stoughton. We were trying to get for the taint team. We wanted to get my phones back. We were still dealing with that. And I go and I park. And a car pulls up to me, a minivan pulls up to me and parks next to me. And a woman gets out. And I'm like, it's the fake victim. She's been ignoring me. Like, I haven't seen you since so what's up with Clay? Is Clay still with us, or did he get flushed? Like, what happened with Clay? Is Clay still here? And she's like, I want to talk about it right now. Okay. Well, okay. I guess we'll talk after. I guess you're going to leave me in suspense. So I go through the whole hearing talking about Taint Team, and Mello, that's the hearing where Mello is like, Your Honor, his phone's in pristine condition. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then afterwards, I'm like, so we got to talk about Clay. So we met at the Dunkin' Donuts down the street, and I sat there, and I'm like, so what happened? She's like, I did it, and you made me do it. You made me get an abortion. And I'm so sad. And you know what she said to me? I'm like, because I had already discussed this with, female friends. They're like, you need to do, if she tells you she gets an abortion, you can't just leave her like that because she will freak out. You got to do the slow fade. Okay. So she tells me that she's got an abortion, and I'm like, oh, she's crying. I'm like, it's going to be okay. Rubbing her back, doing that little thing. And then she's like, so we can still be together, right? We can still be together. There's a chance we can still be together, right? We could move to you. She wanted to move to Worcester and get an apartment with me and the 4 kids. And I'm like, oh, and I can't tell her that's never going to happen. So I'm like, oh, yeah. And she's crying, and I think she just had aborted Clay, so she's in distress. So I'm just like, oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Like, no. And then for the next week in messages, she's telling me that she's in distress, that she's so mad. She said she was hurting from the procedure. And all this shit. And I'm like, oh man, and then she's like getting mad at me saying, you made me abort Clay, and you made me do this, and you're the reason I didn't want to do this. You pressured me into this, and now you don't even love me and want to be with me, and blah, 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 blah. And then one day, like, she sent me a text one thing, because it was like December 3rd. She sent me a text that said, like, tell him, no, she says, I didn't tell him that I didn't do it. Something like that in a text message. I didn't tell him that I didn't do it. And it's like, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I didn't tell him that I didn't do it. And I screenshot it. I sent it to a couple lady friends, and they're like, oh, I see what she's doing here. She's pretending that she's messaging a friend saying that she didn't abort Clay. And she is pretending like she's messaging the wrong person. She messaged you, but it's all fake. She wants you to think that she's messaged the wrong person. Now she's getting it in your head that maybe the abortion didn't happen. She's just fucking with you some more. And then right on cue, 2 days later, December 5th, she's just like, gets all mad at me once again. And she's like, well, guess what? You never cared about me. You never cared about me. Well, guess what? I didn't abort Clay, and I'm keeping him. And I'm like, that's it. I can't deal with it. And then I ignore all the calls. She threatens to she sends me this crazy message saying, I'm putting all the kids in the car and we're coming to your house. This happened all the time, that threat, coming to your house with the kids. And then I'm like, okay. So I agree to meet with her the next day in a parking lot in Boylston at the Dragon 88, which she would love. And, that's when she gets in the car and she's crying, and she's like, what? And are we going to be together? That's all she cared about, was like, are we going to be together? And she realized that without Clay around, if Clay was aborted, right, then I ain't going to be around for much longer. She knew I was going to do the slow fade. So she knows that, like, if there's no Clay, there's no Dr. Turtleboy in your life, he's gone. So she had to hold on to Clay a little longer. And I knew, because I'm like, what is her exit plan here? Like, Clay's not going to come. What happens when there's no Clay? And they're going to be like, she's going to blame you. She's going to say that she miscarried, and she's going to blame it on you for causing her stress. That is guaranteed to be the plan. There's the only thing that made sense. Or option B, and this makes sense too, and this is a little graphic. Option B is that I think, well, you're pregnant anyway, right? You're pregnant anyway, so I might as well go inside. You know what I mean? I think that also, and then maybe she gets an accidental baby, like a real baby out of that. I think that was also possibly the plan, was being like, well, if your girl's pregnant anyway, you might as well, dump a hot one. And then you get a real baby. Then you don't have to fake Clay. You can have a real Clay, and you could be like, it was Clay the whole time. I think that might have also been, it was either one of the two was going to happen. She was either going to try to get real pregnant, or it was going to be, I caused Clay to miscarry. Like, that was the option one. Or option 3, gets pregnant by Clay. I just think that was the plan. Welcome to my life. Like, it was the most chaotic time ever, dealing with the craziest person. And then I go to jail over it, and I'm sitting in jail, and nobody knows anything about this person. You just saw it in the news. Like, he had a girlfriend. He beat the shit out of her. Holy shit. Turtleboy snapped. Wow. What's going on here? And then, more and more news trickles out, and now you can see it. And believe it or not, there's more. There's a lot more. I haven't even told a fucking fraction of this story. And it just never goes away. It just never goes away. So, I could just talk about this forever. But the reason I had to publish this article was because, I'm still being charged with witness intimidation against her. And this is our defense. So all of this is going to come out in court anyway, all of it. And I don't know what she's thinking. Like, if she's that delusional, that she's like, this is going to end in a conviction. Like, are you kidding me? I have texts. I have all of her texts that prove that you're the type of person who lies about being pregnant, lies about getting an abortion. And by the way, how are you going to explain that to a jury? How are you going to explain that to a jury? How are you pregnant on December 23rd when I'm over there? If you put it in writing on December 3rd that you're in pain from the abortion. So you are in text message saying, I just got an abortion. Then how the fuck are you pregnant on December 23rd? Explain that to the court. Oh, no, Your Honor, it was a fake abortion. I'm the kind of person who lies about having abortions. But I was totally telling the truth about being pregnant. Totally. Okay. And it's like, yeah, it should all be a charge. It's fucking fraud. And I had one friend who was pretty sharp, and I should have listened to her. She's like, you need to give her money for baby shit. Or just give her $1,000. Just give it to her, and just be like, this is for baby shit. That way you can get her on fraud. When this is over, you've actually monetarily, and she was totally right. I totally should have done that. I totally should have just, given her money for baby shit. And the second she accepts that money, well, now we can get her on fraud. But I filled up her gas tank once, but as she will tell you, I didn't really spend much money on it. Cause you don't pay a hoe to stay. You pay it to leave, which is like how it works. But whoever that friend is, brilliant. I know I have a lot of smart people in our life. There was consensus. Every woman was like, dude, come on, she's not pregnant. Everyone, like, don't go over there. She's not pregnant. But as you see, I mean, the purpose of publishing that article was to show what got me over there, because that's what I'm charged with. And what got me over there was her deceiving me and making me think that she was sorry, that she wanted to come clean, that she wanted to talk about this fake baby, and all that stuff. Like that was the purpose of going over there, was that I felt bad for her. I did. I felt on December 6th, when she came to talk about what we were going to do about the fake baby again, round 2. And she was so drunk in the car, and she's just like, I'm drunk right now. And she had a fucking water bottle. Like it was like, a regular water bottle. And it was just filled with vodka. She was just drinking. And then I filled her gas tank up, and she went and picked up the kids at daycare after that. And I don't know how the fuck the fact that a person like her still has her kids, dude, after all this, all documented on fucking Turtleboy of all places. It's all documented. There's video evidence of it, everything. How bad of a parent was Krusty Panties to lose her fucking kids? Like, how hard it is to lose your kids in this state, bro? Like, as a female, you gotta try. You gotta try.
No, it's just like I said, I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. And there'll be people tomorrow talking about how much of a scumbag I am from liking this. I don't like that her kid's a fucking mess. No. But you don't only need to look at Kate. Kate is the root cause of all of this. And someday karma comes for its payment. And she'll get it. And we will sit back and laugh. Dude, to get your kid taken in Massachusetts as a female? Bruh. You literally, they got to catch you fucking pimping her out and fucking lighting your crack pipe off its head.
Yeah. Oh, that's my former, I guess, co-host, Brett Killer, sharing his thoughts on Miss Krusty Panties. You got to try. I mean, you do have to try in this state, brah. As a female, brah. All right. Bert. Yeah, that's Bert. Good old Bert. He had some funny things to say about Krusty, didn't he? All right, cool. Let me just double check the turtle chats because it's getting kind of late here. I mean, it's fucking Sunday night, almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and we got 3,800 people here. That's great. You guys are diehards. All right, retired prison captain sends $10 and goes, Spanky is most accomplished playing the skin flute. Much more accomplished than he is playing the skin flute than he ever was playing the harmonica. It's true. He's at home wearing underoos, playing with action figures. Hey, show a little respect here. I'm a mob lawyer, don't you know? Tyler sends $5 to us. Hi, doctor. Please give a birthday shout out to my friend Marissa. Is her birthday December 20th? Because it's now December 20th. So happy birthday, Marissa. We love you very much. Thank you. Jen's Snatch. Ooh, Jen's Snatch has donated $10 and says, isn't this the day you left court and the fake victim pushed people out of the way to hug you? Make it make sense. I don't think so. She never hugged me. She knew her place. She was never publicly like, the only time we were ever together in public really where I'm like, yeah, this is my girl. Like whatever, like, was, what was it? The fundraiser in Acton that we went to. Even at the Halloween party, I kind of kept my distance, you know? All right. Tyler sends $5 goes. I already got that one. Okay. I'm not sure if we have any turtle chats here. I don't think so. Oh, wait. I got one. A couple here. Meatball Morrissey sends $10 and goes, LG is worse or equal to Crystal Mangum from Duke. Yeah, she's the one that lied about the Duke lacrosse players raping her. I'm not sure what. I mean, the Duke lacrosse one fell apart so easily. Like hers, but it's the same idea. It's a corrupt district attorney's office going along with it for political reasons. But you're right. You're right. It is fucked up. I'm surprised Wendy hasn't taken up her cause. EMC donates $10 and goes, do you have any upcoming court proceedings? Yes, actually. On Friday, I have a hearing in Dedham District Court where we are going to be hopefully setting a trial date with the fake victim for this violation of a restraining order thing, because I can't wait for that now. Oh, my God. After her performance at the restraining order hearing, the more we get her on stand, the better. Quite frankly, that's the way I look at that. The better. So I can't wait. And maybe my friend Mary Bagwell will be there too. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, all right. Anyway, anyone else? Oh, you only got 5 inches, huh? That's a shame, Connor. That's a shame. All right. I love the name Clay. I know. Clay Kearney. A legend is born. A legend. Clay Kearney needs a birthday. Not just the conception day. I think I wrote that one of the messages. I'm like, did it happen in the car? Wouldn't that be fitting? So let's say Clay was conceived in October of 2023. So that means he would have a July birthday. Oh, he's got a summer. We have a summer birthday. So we're going to have, you know what? I'm going to say it right now. Clay Kearney is an American icon, born on the 4th of July. Would have been born on the 4th of July if he wasn't aborted twice. Okay? 2 abortions. And he's a fetal alcohol baby. So July 4th, 2024, Clay Kearney, the legend of Clay Kearney begins. Okay. So every July 4th, the rest of the country celebrates its independence. We will celebrate Clay Kearney's first birthday on July 4th, 2024. Fucking Clay. Yeah, Clay. I know we're going to do some shit. We're going to have a ceremony, or we're going to have, because Clay's not with us anymore. So we need to have like a candle lights. We need a moment of silence for Clay. We're going to have some candles and shit like that. It's going to be a Clay standout. Yeah. Justice for Clay. Justice for Clay. Like Clay should be here today. Clay should be alive, God damn it. Clay should be alive. He should be a fetal alcohol baby doing things and spitting all over himself and taking big dumps. Clay Day, International Clay Day. All right, guys. Anyway, I mean, when she told him, I'm like, if he's still alive after all this, this is the most gangster ass baby ever. He survived 2 abortion attempts, an abortion pill, somehow survived that. Drinking to excess on a daily basis, and then 2 car accidents in December. This is the most gangster ass baby ever. Like, Clay is gonna kick some ass when he comes out of here. No one's gonna fuck with Clay. Free Clay. All right, guys. Clay t-shirts and everything. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys keep up the good work. And tomorrow night, Irish, baby. Fucking Notre Dame. Tomorrow night. Telling you, we're gonna win. Sorry, Lacey. We're gonna fucking win tomorrow. The Irish are gonna completely. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be the best fucking night tomorrow. So probably go live for the second half. But go Irish and free Clay. Peace, Turtle Riders.